Pressed it, and we're live. All right. Man, it's been a while. 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, we were pretty solid there.
Well,
Pretty consistent.
I guess I'll do the intro first, and then we can get into it. All right. Tubi, no Nick D tonight. He'll be here in a little bit, everybody. Jarvis Jerry, live from New York City.
Beep, boop, bop, boop.
So let's get right into what happened the last 2 weeks. Last week, me and Nick D both lost electricity on Tuesday. I didn't get it back till late Wednesday night. Later on Wednesday night. Nick
Like
didn't.
a full 24 hours?
Yeah, over 24 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It wasn't full 40-80, but it was at least in the mid 30s or something, right?
Yeah.
That's true, Nick, Jerry.
Yeah.
I haven't even talked to you really about this story. The first night, Nick D texted and was like, "Yo, dude, there's no way we can do the show. My stuff's not even like charged." And I didn't have internet. Straight up, didn't have internet, so it didn't matter anyways. So it was like, "Oh, my laptop's charged, but no internet, so couldn't do it." So we went and saw 65. 65. Which we'll get into. Maybe Nick will be here by the time we get into that. The next night, I still didn't have electricity. I think it came on maybe right after I left to go over to your brother's spot, to Nick D's spot, and then we went and saw Scream with BK and Fats, the four of us. We went back to Nick's afterwards. Nick still didn't have electricity, and at that point, like even driving to a spot, people on the street had it. Lights were on and stuff. It was crazy. It was like only Nick D's court, didn't have. Yeah.
I remember him saying that. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Beaks and Fats, their electricity went out on Tuesday as well, but they had it on by Tuesday night at like 9. I think it's the same as your parents' spot, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah.
Because
Yeah, like
they all
before
live in that
midnight or
that side of town.
Yeah.
Which makes sense too, dude, because our side of town is a little bit older, just in general. Like, our houses were made a little bit before, and all of our telephone poles are above ground. But if you notice, like in BK's neighborhood, there are no telephone poles for the most part. They're all like buried because I think that became more. I'm going to get into the the deets of it. That happened later in life. Like people started burying, or PG&E started burying it later, and that obviously plays a big role in this. Like I literally, I should have sent you the photo. Or did you see the photo? Whoa.
Of what?
The tree that fell in my backyard, or that wasn't even a tree; it was a limb.
Yeah.
And
I did see that.
Actually knocked down the power line in my backyard. It's not the best.
That's crazy.
You can kind of see. Yeah, there you go. There it is right there.
So, like, did you hear
I was at the warehouse.
tree fall? Okay.
I wasn't even at home. I was at the Heligrip warehouse. I was chilling at the Heligrip warehouse with Morg, and it sounded pretty crazy there. It's a flat roof there. And we were hearing just the wind whip through it and like rocks hitting there's like a hole. It's covered, but there's like I don't know, like not an air conditioning, but some type of hole for air to flow. And it was just sounded insane in there. And as I was leaving, the golf course was just covered in trees. The Wendy's right down the street had a tree going through the drive-through, and instantly I was like, "Oh my god, this is gnarly!" And my mom had hit me up and said, like, "Oh, some crazy stuff was happening back at the house." I was like, "Oh no, that's not good." Yeah, tons of trees down. So yeah, we didn't have electricity for those 2 days, and that kind of effed up last week.
Yeah.
And then this week, on Tuesday, I lost my internet. It was also storming.
Again.
Yeah, it was storming once again, and we had no internet. So unfortunately, we couldn't do the show, but here we are. We're back. Episode 50.
PG&E.
Yeah.
To finish that, it took Nick 3 days, 3 full days to get power. That first time it went out.
He had it like mid-afternoon. Yeah, it's about 3 full days. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely 2 full days, like 2.5. It was
2.5.
It was a long time. Everything in the fridge of his got ruined. So yeah, PG&E,
Same here.
you should probably sponsor us and
Yeah.
pay us for those 2 missed weeks, and also get your stuff together. And that's crazy,
Yeah.
PG&E.
We had to throw a majority of our refrigerator away.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
That is
But that
so
also
wild.
was our own fault. I think we were staying hopeful that the electricity was going to come back on and that we were going to have the fridge. And we should have
Oh,
been
like what? Like go get ice bags or something? Like what?
yeah,
What
and
are
put
you
it
supposed to do?
in put it in coolers. I mean, that's really all you could do. I got a bunch of
Yeah.
coolers in the garage and stuff. We could have done it,
Yeah.
but like I have, all my camping supplies. I could have even turned on the little mini stove and been going. I didn't.
Yeah.
I ate salad. That's the thing too, is that we opened the fridge and got stuff out, and that was kind of a fatal mistake because you shouldn't break the seal at
Yeah,
that point
Yeah, just leave it and then
and hope
be
for the
able to
best.
get food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's not what we did. Anyways, no need to get into the whole.
Yeah. Busy, stormy 2 weeks for you guys over there.
Yeah, it's been a crazy winter this winter. But
Well, now it's spring. It was spring
on Monday.
Monday,
Yeah,
whatever.
but it's been a crazy season. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, been active. It has been active for sure.
But hopefully no fires this summer. That's all I can say. Hopefully no fires. That's all we can say.
And you guys have had fires like consistently
Yeah.
last few summers.
Yeah. I rather rain than fires, to be honest, but
Yeah, definitely.
it's a little easier to deal with, right? Like some out power lines versus literal house
you
burning.
have, like,
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's like the fires, and then you get the
Smoke.
smoke and shit, and blocking. It's more than just the fires.
And then it's like 100-something degrees outside, and it's smoky, and people are like dying in fires. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, it adds this like humidity to it.
Dude, to be honest, like even in SF, windows were getting blown out the buildings during the storm. Though that was pretty intense in my opinion, because then there was like sheets of
Really?
glass. Yeah. You can find it online. Nothing by my sister's spot. Thankfully, they were all okay. They did the trees in front of the Giants stadium did fall over, a few of them, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, like some windows flew out and were just smashing on the ground. Real intense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like that stormy.
Yeah. Stormy Daniels.
It was a nice March, Daniels.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
these ads
Oscars.
so long.
We haven't talked since that happened.
Yep.
I was
Yep.
very excited by the Oscars this year. I really enjoyed it.
I will pull that up after watching this woman's umbrella get blown around. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, no, I told you about the 3 that I know, so I'm excited to go over this with you because I don't know who actually won this stuff.
There were some big upsets. Everything Everywhere All at Once swept it for the most part. Pretty much took down. See, the one thing I'm going to say off tops, I hate how they do this order where it's like, you know what? This might be starting off in the order they made the announcements at. No, it's definitely not. Whatever. We'll just go. We can go from this point. So the first one, lead role, obviously Brendan Fraser won, which I thought was awesome. Now, I've seen The Whale. Me and Beak saw it in theaters. I think we talked about it on here already. Maybe.
Yeah, I think you did a bit because you definitely were like you should see it.
It's an actor's movie. You know what I mean? Like it's a big actor's film. Like it's acting. Like he's only in the one room for majority of the film. I don't want to give too many of the deets away, and plus I probably already did. But yeah, it's all him, And there's like 2 other actors, 3. There's 3 other actors kind of periodically throughout it, but it's really focused on Brendan Fraser, and it's awesome to see him come back from all the drama that's happened to him in the last few years and all that stuff that kind of came out, and him to win this kind of role, or win this award for that role, really cool. Austin Butler,
Yeah.
I like the Elvis film. I'm going to Tennessee this week, going to Graceland. I'm really excited for that, but
Nice.
I don't know if that should have won the role. Colin Farrell was awesome in that movie, but that movie was a depressing flick.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only seen that one, and it's like, yeah, he didn't need to win for that.
Yeah, you should check out Elvis. Elvis is interesting because I didn't know a lot about the Colonel, which is played by Tom Hanks.
I don't like Tom Hanks.
And Tom Hanks is pretty fantastic in it. And him and Austin Butler's back and forth is kind of what makes the movie great. You know what I mean? And it's a lot better than the Queen film. It's a lot better than the Elton John one. I enjoyed both those as well. I didn't hate them. But this is definitely a little bit better of a... And it's also like Elvis and the costumes and the whole thing. It's just,
Yeah,
It's-
you get to see it in a sense. Like,
it's more movie-esque versus the Elton John or the Queen. Or I did like the Johnny
Even
Cash
the,
one. That was years ago at this point.
yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah,
Or The Doors. That was Oliver Stone's Doors. That's a real oldie. I have that on DVD.
I know, like, I don't know if I've ever seen it. I know I've seen scenes of that, but
That's a trippy one.
yeah, I should check it out. I should definitely check out the Elvis one.
Yeah, Elvis one's. I think it's available on HBO Max, so it's worth
I've
worth
seen
a
it
watch.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other two actors, I don't know. Never saw After Sun. Never saw
Yeah.
Living. So can't comment on those. Best actress. Oh wait.
This is
This is supporting role. Okay.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Everything All at Once. I went to Best Buy to buy a copy because I looked it up online, and it was a little bit cheaper to buy a hard copy than it was to rent it on iTunes or Amazon. So I was like, screw it. I'd rather just have the hard copy because this movie sounds great. I'll probably want to watch it more than once.
Yeah.
And forget giving
Get some of
iTunes
those deleted scenes.
or whatever. Yeah.
If you own it, yeah.
Yeah. It's cool to have a hard copy in case the power goes out or something and I can run it on a Jenny. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Haven't been able. They didn't have it. I went to Best Buy. They didn't have it. They actually, and then I looked for Feeblemans because I really want to see that. Kevin Smith spoke really highly of it. I love Steven Spielberg. We grew up with them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A movie about his life, and I love making movies or not making movies. I love the movie industry and stuff. Would love to see a movie about how he got into movie making. Unfortunately, they didn't have that either.
Really?
So can't comment on that either.
Was it like they were sold out?
Maybe I'm incorrect and they're not actually out on DVD. I swear when I looked it up though, Everything All at Once was already available.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. I'm not. Yeah, Jerry, if you want to look it up. And then we had two people for the Banshees of Inisherin, whatever, bro. I'm gonna slander that or whatever. Inisherin. There we go.
So yeah, it says so they are out. Yeah, they were just sold out.
Sold out. Must have been the hype of the Oscars got them sold out.
Yeah.
Both those dudes in the Banshees film were good. But I don't think that they... Colin Farrell kind of was the person for that or the donkey. So, and they obviously weren't going to give a nod to the donkey. Although he did make an appearance at the Oscars.
Did he?
Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel, real quick, Jimmy Kimmel did a great job. Opening monologue, he made a couple Will Smith jokes. He kept it nice, though. Good times. I thought it was fantastic, personally. And I'm not a huge Jimmy fan, but I do enjoy him. Man Show, we grew up with him as well. But I thought he did a fantastic job. Really enjoyed that as well. And I'm going back to the winner. We grew up with this gentleman. He was Temple of Doom, Dr. Jones. The young child from Dr. Jones.
Yeah.
And he was in Goonies.
Yeah. Short Round. Oh, wait, no,
that's Indiana Jones, no?
Yeah, that's Indiana Jones. What's his name in?
I want to call him something about fixing stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
He's amazing in
Oh,
that.
yeah. Data.
Data, yeah, he's fantastic in that. He actually even was an Encino Man with Brendan Fraser, which I didn't realize until that got posted all over the internet. Um, yeah,
Really? I
yeah,
did
yeah,
not remember that. I haven't seen Encino Man like probably since it came out.
yeah. It's been a long, long time.
We should watch some of those '90s movies. Brendan Fraser and Pauly Shore, one or two podcasts.
Yeah,
at some
do a
point.
show on him. That would be good. I'm into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Really juiced that he won. I mean, that like the two of them back to back so far, great night. Fantastic night. I think they both
never
deserved
saw
it.
Causeway.
Never saw Causeway
Good
either.
for-
Yeah.
Crew and I were actually talking about Jennifer Lawrence earlier today, so I might check that out.
Oh, she's in Causeway?
She is in Causeway. I guess it's a drama about soldiers returning from war.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's our next
Didn't see
one?
it.
Actress in a lead role.
But I do
Everything
like
all at
him.
once.
I will say that.
Yeah.
Like Brian Tyree Henry.
Oh, yeah. He's a good actor.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, well deserved. She's been around Hollywood for quite some time. She started her career off in China, came over for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and then has been here ever since. She's been in a bunch of awesome movies. It's real cool that she gets her time to shine, gets her flowers. The only thing I can say about this category really is I was really surprised that young lady for Blonde got a nomination. Because that movie was pretty trash, in my opinion.
I mean, neither of us finished it. I
yeah.
do like her. I do think Ana de Armas is a good actress.
Yeah.
But
what else
have
you seen her in?
Blonde. She's in the first Glass Onion movie, whatever that's called, Knives Out.
Okay.
And then she was in like some.
She's the young
Keanu
girl that's
movie.
not a part of the family?
Yeah, she's the nurse.
Okay.
And then she's in a Keanu movie where her and her friend bang him and like blackmail him. And then she's in some other movie.
That sounds familiar, but with different actresses.
Knock or something. Yeah, that's probably not too.
What's the Charlie Sheen one where the two girls?
Wild Things or something.
Yeah.
See, no, there's even more. I don't even. That's Kevin Bacon's brother.
Okay.
There's Kevin Bacon. No, that's Kevin Bacon. Again, there's a bunch of movies, I'm pretty sure, based on that. And then there's like a third movie.
It's a basic concept.
She's Blade Runner. I know she didn't have a big part, but I liked her in Blade Runner.
2032 or whatever it is. The second Blade Runner.
Yeah, the new. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously. She probably wasn't even born when the first one came out.
And she was in one of the Bond movies.
Okay. So she's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. She's been in things.
Maybe I'm being harsh. I just didn't like that film. Maybe if I made it all the way through, I don't know.
It's so tragic.
I'm not one to turn a movie off. I watched House Party, which we'll get to, and that was trash. Like, I'll tell you right now, like, that was not good. It just didn't work. But
yeah,
I finished
throwing
it.
a party in LeBron James's mansion.
That's the spoiler too, Jerry. But yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw you posted a bunch of movies you watched, and it's like, all right, which ones can I watch? That was one, and I was like,
No,
I'll watch the Triangle of Sadness.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get through this, and we'll go right into House Party after this. All right, actress in a supporting role.
Yeah.
I was very excited about. I'm going to say a lot about this one.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
First off, it's crazy that Everything All at Once had 2 nominations here. That's just off tops crazy. Second thing I'll say is that the lady from Banshees of Inisherin, I'm surprised she even got the nomination because she's barely in that movie, man. And it's really about the 2 dudes and their friendship or whatever. So it seemed crazy to me that she got a nod. I don't know if they were just trying to fill a space or what. The whale lady from The Whale, she definitely deserved a nod because she is the secondary actor to Brendan Fraser, who is the lead.
Is this the kid?
No. That's his. Okay, so in The Whale, he is, not only is he overweight and he gained all this weight, But the whole movie is about how he left his family because he was gay. He was closeted. And he met a man, and he left his family for this man. That man he's not in the film, right? But his sister is, and that's the sister who's helping take care of Brendan Fraser without giving too many spoiler alerts. She's constantly in it trying to help him, and she's like a nurse or something, and she's trying to help him out and stuff. She does a fantastic job in the film. Like I said, it's a real acting film where they're literally in the house the whole time. So it's all about acting chops in that. She does a fantastic job, so definitely deserved the nod. I didn't think she was going to win it, though. I was even surprised Brendan Fraser won, let alone her getting a nod, or let alone her winning. And now, Angela Bassett. I have to say this, because some people were upset, whatever. Dude, I've watched every Marvel movie made. Seen them on opening night and stuff. I didn't think Wakanda Forever was a great film. It was a very difficult film because of the loss of Chadwick Boseman, and they were coming off the heels of a fantastic film. I really liked the original Black Panther. Thought it was a great film. She does a good job, but she's played that role for a while now. And on top of that, we already seen her do the whole upset mom thing when the dad died in Captain America Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that one. That's
and then, like, the follow-up, I think she mentions it in whatever. The thing to me is, in that film, the standout role was Neymar. He was the dope part of Wakanda Forever. I know he's the bad guy, but he was the dope part of that movie. I didn't think that I was surprised she got the nomination, personally. I'm just surprised that they're even giving Marvel films nominations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just am. I'm taken back when that happens. And that's from a fan's point of view.
That is interesting.
Now, I haven't seen everything all at once, as I've already gone into details about. But, and Jared probably knows this, I am a huge Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh.
Did he text us?
He did not text us,
did
he? Did?
No,
he did. He did.
See it. Yeah, he did.
All right, Nick, let's do an audio check.
Coming in, looking like Clint Eastwood. Oh, yeah, he totally texted us.
You got some squinty eyes, or were you farting right there?
He was looking like Clint Eastwood, I guess.
I turned it into De Niro.
Yeah, the De Niro.
I got what? Craig, I've got nipples. Can you milk me?
That's a great one.
That's a great line.
I wish I kept that one.
I think we're good on audio. We're good on audio. I would say someone in the chat let us know, but there is no one in the chat because no one has turned on post notifications. Everyone wants to.
They're just. So I will say, as you've noticed, though, I do show up late to talking-ish with McMasher, but I got my notifications on. I pop in.
Wow, so I texted you to help me out with that last one, which I really appreciate.
But other ones before that, when you don't ask.
Oh, I made you a moderator or whatever on that too. So you could boot people and time them out and all that. You're in. And if anyone is getting out of line, Jerry, I would appreciate it if you did. So
yeah, for sure. For sure.
But back to the Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh wait, Nick D, got something to say?
No, if we're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis, let's talk Jamie Lee Curtis.
Nick, have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
I did. I loved it.
Loved it. And do you think Jamie Lee Curtis deserved the win?
Over
the daughter,
Angela Bassett, the lady from The Whale, the lady from Banshees of Inisherin, and then the daughter from Everywhere All at Once were the other nominations.
Personally, I probably would have given it to Stephanie Sue. Like, she was great in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Wow.
Also, Carrie Condon, if that's the sister from Banshees of Inisherin, she was also great.
But super minimal, right? Like, out of everybody in the film?
Yeah, like, Jamie Lee Curtis, I think she deserved it. She did an amazing job in that. But I almost think I would have given it to the daughter.
Yeah. Well,
that's what I was gonna say. Is like, out of the movie.
Oh, you've seen it too, Jerry?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I saw it in theaters.
Oh wow, I'm an
So
idiot.
here's my question, because I feel you would know better than I would. Has she won before, Tubes?
Jamie Lee.
Is this her first one?
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I was about to say. I think that this is a makeup call for her career as a
Yeah.
whole.
Exactly.
She's never been nominated. This was her first nomination and her first win. And I was gonna. What my whole thing is, I'm a huge fan. Clearly, I'm a big Halloween fan. You know, Halloween 1 is one of my favorite movies. Halloween 2, enjoy it, and the new ones have come out up until that last installment. I was really digging. Freaky Friday. I mean, the list can go on. I mean, I don't want to. We could pull it up, but she's been in so many great films. You know, her
Yeah,
career has
yeah,
just been chopped.
Wikipedia now.
Yeah, pull it up, Jerry. If we could pull it up.
Is Jamie Lee just the one in True Lies?
True Lies.
Yeah.
Nick D. True
Yeah.
Lies. She's just had a phenomenal career. You know what I'm saying? She's just been in so many good movies. She's Hollywood royalty. Her parents were both famous actors. I didn't know that. My mom filled me in on that. And she's just fantastic, you know, as an actress altogether. So I feel like this was a makeup call vibe. I haven't even seen the film.
Books.
It's good. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I really want to
It's
see it.
definitely-
That
This point we were talking the other day, like you could spend $20 and rent it or $25 and buy it. I would just buy it. It's worth watching again.
Yeah. I saw it for like 15 or 17 or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
She was at she went to Evo.
Halloween, The Fog.
What?
The Fog, dude. That's a great one. Halloween
Fog's
2.
iGirl.
but yeah, cause so again, she was really, wow, my mic is all over the place. She was really good in Everything Everywhere, but I do think if it's like, oh, the daughter and her, it's like, well, the daughter definitely had a bigger role than she did.
The
and-
daughter was good. Like her,
And yeah.
her role. I don't want to spoil anything too, but like what the
yeah,
daughter's
exactly.
role in the movie is like pretty important.
She
Yeah.
definitely crushed it and did a lot of work to do that. Not saying Jamie Lee didn't, but she just has more screen time. So kind of going back to what you were saying with the sister in Inishir, that it's like compared to everybody else in the movie, she does have the least amount of screen time.
Yeah.
But
Small
yeah, so
role.
I do think it is because Jamie Lee,
Trading
she,
Places.
I don't know, she's good. She's good in it, but again, it's a smaller role. So.
Yeah. She's had quite a good career in some lackluster movies and some really big ones too, you know. So
Yeah, Virus. That was a movie that scared
oh
the
yeah.
shit out of me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot it.
Yeah,
That's an
Yeah.
oldie. I haven't
my
seen
shit.
that in years.
yeah. But
Yeah.
Keep-
So anyways, let's keep it moving. Okay, so this one, I'm going to straight up say it. I think we already talked about this on here. I was taken back but not surprised. He seems to win a Academy Award every other year. Give me a Del Toro.
Yeah, he's got such a unique style that like I feel like, you know, like when you look at these movies, like I'm sure all of these movies are great. Like
I wanted to see Marcel the Shell with the shoes on. I really wanted to see that. I haven't.
but that actress, she's amazing. Puss in Boots, like that's a huge blockbuster.
Yeah, I
Don't
wanted
know
to
if
see that.
Turning Red is full on like DreamWorks or Pixar.
No, it's
or whatever.
Pixar. It's Pixar.
And so, like for Del Toro to win it, I really do think it's like his style. He's got such a unique visual style that's why he keeps beating. I mean, Marcel's got its own look too.
Marcel looks really cool, bro.
It's got its own look, but Puss in Boots and Turning Red, they're both just like kind of Pixar-looking movies.
Well,
you know?
Turning Red's a film not made for me, you, and Jerry. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And
I
I'll
don't
say
want to.
this,
I can't even comment on it.
and I think I was too old for Shrek, so Puss in Boots isn't even really made for me. Like I have no desire other
Puss in Boots
than
is
animation.
great.
Like, I like
I've heard
animation.
Puss in Boots
Puss
is
in
really
Boots.
good. I've heard that.
Those
Yeah.
are
I hear
good
it's really
movies.
yeah. It's just that I'm not a
Yeah.
Shrek guy, so it's like
I like Shrek.
But that's
What
the
year
thing.
did
is
Shrek come
that
out?
It's not. So I don't know. I think you'll like it, Nick, because it's like at least the
Oh, one.
first one. I'm
Yeah, Nick, you were in college,
pretty
high school already. I get
sure
it. You were in high
there's,
school.
like a Desperado reference or something.
Yeah,
because
it's him and
Antonio
her.
Banderas.
And her.
and I Antonio Banderas.
Oh, it is. She is the female
Yeah,
cat.
they-
So yeah, I don't know.
They did
I think
they
if you
announced a
like
award together.
Antonio, pop it on in the background next time you're
wanna-
cleaning or something.
I wanted to see it at the
Yeah,
drive-in. I just didn't get time.
Yeah.
I think because
Yeah.
is it? Did I hear it's the same like creative director as Into the Spider-Verse? Like it's the same guy designing the.
I don't know.
Or is that not?
I didn't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
think some of the animation staff. I could be making that up. I could be making.
I could tell without even seeing it that I wanted Puss in Boots to win over the horrible Pinocchio film. I'm just gonna straight up say it. I know I already talked about it once on here. I get what you're saying, Nick, and I think I think he is a great director, and everything he does I do enjoy. I did not enjoy this Pinocchio. I did not like it one bit. It was creepy as all hell. Very depressing film. I also wasn't surprised when he did win it though, because it's him, and it was very visually appealing. But I wanted that Marcel one to win for that same reason, because it looked like a very cool visual film. And I still plan on checking it. I think it's an A24 production. Shout out to them. I'd like to check that movie out. But we got so much to talk about. We could keep moving, Jerry. We'll just go through the highlights because we already talked about Pinocchio too. But Puss in Boots, when it hits streamers, I am gonna check it out.
Yeah, we should watch that.
Now we're on cinematography. I off tops knew it was gonna be All Quiet on the Western Front. I haven't had a chance to watch it.
I haven't seen any of these.
It's a remake. That's an older film. I think it's based off a book, if I'm not mistaken, right? All Quiet on the Western Front's a famous book. But war epics always seem to win that category. It just not saying that they not always do. I shouldn't say that, but they win that category a lot, and it makes sense. It's a very visual thing. So I wasn't surprised by that at all. The other nominations, I hadn't seen any of them other than Elvis. I haven't even actually heard of two of those. And Tar is the one about the female
tennis player.
No.
The conductor.
Conductor. It looks interesting.
I knew she was hitting something.
No, tennis is. It looks like I'm doing a lightsaber.
Yeah, exactly.
That film looks interesting. The one about the female conductor. I am intrigued. Once again, if it's streaming somewhere, I'd check it out. Elvis was cool, but I wasn't surprised that they didn't win cinematography. Not much to really be said about that. I was surprised that Top Gun didn't get a nod for cinematography. That was my only thing.
Yeah, that
is
would have
interesting.
made more sense. Yeah, that would have made more.
And
again, I think that would have been. I didn't see All Quiet on the.
Yeah. I want to watch All Quiet on the Western Front. It's a longer film. It's on Netflix. I'm gonna get around to it at some point. I'll check it out. Now this one, costume design, wasn't too surprised that this is the kind of category that a Marvel film should win, in my opinion. This is kind of the bread and butter. I think they could
If they're going to be nominated.
Special effects, and then this are the two things I feel like that makes sense for them to get nods for. And in this one too, Neymar and his people were so effing cool looking. You know what I'm saying, Nick D?
Yeah, for sure.
Well deserved.
Mayan and Incan and Aztec kind of references.
Now, I will say with Elvis, I mean, they did knock it out the park with the costumes, but they also had the original costumes, I guess, are at Graceland. So a lot of those were based off his actual clothing that he wore. Kind of easy in a way. It's not like all of it's been lost and they had to recreate it off photos. They literally had the costumes to base it off of.
Yeah.
They still did a fantastic job. And then I can't believe Babylon got any nominations because that was a huge flopper field. Still would like to see it, but huge flopper field.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, nobody did. That's
I don't know how well it was promoted, but then again,
it was promoted heavily before it
TV.
came out, and then once it came out, it flopped, and they pulled all the promotion out. That's my personal. That's how I felt. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of
Okay.
All right, now director. I wanted Spielberg to win, just so we could have Spielberg get up there to talk, because I want to hear Spielberg talk. That's a personal thing. I haven't seen The Feeblemans. I've heard great things about The Feeblemans. I wanted him to come up there. You know, Jimmy did this whole thing at the intro where because I guess Seth Rogen produced the film or was involved in the film, and he was sitting behind Spielberg. He's like, "Oh, what are you on tonight, Seth? Did you give some to Steve?" And like made this whole joke about the two of them. And Steve was just shaking his head no, which I thought was hilarious. Steve, he's getting up there in age. It's great to see him at the events and stuff. Big Stevens fan. Because the film's up here and we're going to talk about it in a little bit, I was surprised that Triangle of Sadness even got a nomination for director. Made sense for maybe movie, but I knew there was not really a chance at him winning this. I would have been very surprised if he took this one down. Just saying.
Yeah.
Banshees, we've talked about. They're just in every category. And then that movie about the female conductor looks cool, but I can't really judge until I see it. So, and then Banshees was great. I think they won an award at the Emmys. No, is Emmys the other?
Golden Globes.
Golden Globes, Jerry. Golden Globes. I think they won. He won an award at the Golden Globes. And like I said, that movie, I enjoyed it at the time, but I would never like watch it again. It is a good, well-directed film, though. It definitely is a well-directed film.
For sure.
Yeah.
But, that night or last year was an Everything, Everywhere, All at Once year. And those dudes took it down. They had a great speech. Great. Congrats to those two dudes. They did a fantastic job, from my understanding.
Daniel and Daniel.
Yeah. The Daniel bros. They're not bros.
The Dans.
But you know what I mean. Documentary film. I mean, we could just swing right on by. No offense to it. Congrats to everyone that was nominated. Congrats to who won. I didn't see any of these.
If our uncle is there. No.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Documentary short film.
I feel like we would have heard about it.
Maybe. Film editing.
All right, film editing.
First time Top Gun is popping up.
I knew they weren't going to win that one, though. I was surprised that this isn't another category that you'd have Avatar as well as Black Panther. I'm just saying, like, those type of movies are really edited. When I think editing, there's this, because you got to, I consider doing the special effects part of editing. You got to input them in. It's two different teams, but you got to input that special effects into the edit. So I was surprised that they didn't get nods. And with that being said, Everything Everywhere All at Once, from the looks of what I've seen in trailers and all the clips that were played that night, it makes sense that they won that one. Once again, it just makes sense. It looks very visually appealing. The pacing, from my understanding, is great. Elvis had some cool editing too. The pacing on it's really well done. But it's still not. It's nothing too crazy. I thought The Menu could have been up on that list purely based off the title work. I would have mentioned that forever.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that's an editing choice or if that was the director's choice or how that worked with The Menu.
I would say that fall under editing because that sets like the paces, like that sets up that sets up literal scenes and like arcs or not arcs, chapters of the movie.
Yeah.
Also, too, like and again, like you guys might disagree, but I think Batman should have been nominated for editing purely for that Batmobile. The idea that it's in the rain and it's going left, you never see chase scenes going left, and it's going left because it like subconsciously implies that Batman is the villain. Batman is chasing the Penguin. The hero always goes right. Penguin's going, and so it's interesting to see Batman drive left in that, where there's like this editing trick that makes you almost feel for the Penguin. And it's like, dude, the fucking Batmobile scene alone, it should have been edited. It should have been nominated for this.
I can see that argument, but
visual in that scene, that's fucking directing.
That's directing though. See, I don't know. Like to me, editing.
Go back and watch that Batmobile scene. It is like, oh shit, this is like manipulative. It's like it's.
But was that might have been cinematography too, Nick?
Again, I think it should have been nominated for all of them, and I'll never stop saying that. I think it's bullshit that they were nominated
this
for
guy
one thing.
just using up all our swears in this little Batman triad.
Again, this is why I work.
That was great, Jared. That was great. Using up all our swears. Who gives a shit? It's fine, Nick. That was a great joke.
Very passionate.
That was a great joke, Jerry. I loved it. That was great. Nick, I agree. I get your passion. I know you loved Batman. My one comment to you would be, I did enjoy the film. I found it, and we've talked about this before, I found it to be long. And I think that also has to do with editing. So I think cinematography, I'd be totally with you on. I think the cinematography on that Batman film was beautiful. It's all at night, and it really works. When he goes into that nightclub, when he's he's got the backpack on, he goes in the nightclub, and the shots they did, I thought the cinematography was great. I get where you're coming from as a Batman person, but that's what I was saying earlier when you first jumped on. Because I was talking a little bit about how I was surprised that what's her name got a nomination for Best Supporting Actress for Wakanda Forever. That's not the best superhero film, and I'm sure you would agree with me. It's just surprising that got a nod. And then to make it with your point, it's also surprising that Batman, which was another fantastic superhero film, a lot of people really enjoyed it, even if I didn't super love it. A lot of people really enjoyed it. And it got barely, I think it has one nomination. If I'm not mistaken, Batman got one nod. And that is kind of surprising when that movie, if we're comparing Batman to Wakanda Forever, Batman is the stronger film out of the two.
Yeah.
Even though I do think Namor was a cooler bad guy than all the bad guys in Batman. Just saying. I that Riddler wasn't my Riddler. Just personal opinion. But Namor, man, when he comes floating in that first time out of the water, bro, it gave me goosebumps. I was like, ooh, this guy, it was just cool. Which is why they got costume. So, great point though, Nick.
But I think also too, for costumes, even if you take out all the superhero stuff, just the scenes in Wakanda, everyone is so fashionable, and it's different levels of wealth. There's the people on the street and their costumes are amazing, and then you have royal. They look even more dope. Wakanda did have amazing costumes.
Each person from each different section of Wakanda and how their different clothing in that
visual language.
Yeah. It's very interesting. So, but anyways, I know what you mean, Nick. I do get why you're passionate about. You think that your film deserves something, and that's what the show's about, is standing up for your movie. So,
and having said that, though, everything, everywhere, all of the editing is great. Compared to the movies that are all listed, it's
Yeah. The pacing is really well done in the Elvis film because they are squeezing his whole career into one movie. And that is about pacing and editing for sure. So I get why it got a nomination. It just isn't anything super over the top fancy. And I'm sure that's kind of the issue with a lot of these movies. Maverick, though, I felt like almost in the same vein as Batman, was a little lengthy and could have had some parts cut out a little bit. So I'm a little surprised. I think that movie made so much money and did so much for Hollywood in general that they had to give it some nods, and they just threw it in some categories. Maybe even over your Batman film, Top Gun got slipped in because it was just such a big blockbuster.
Yeah, it makes sense. And again, you can tell a lot of money when into Top Gun. Top Gun is a well-crafted movie.
It was good.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on Tom Cruise, but that was a good movie, man. I mean, I love Mission Impossible. I shouldn't say that. I do love Mission Impossible. So, but let's move on. International film. I think RRR won or no?
I hope so.
No.
All Quiet on the Western Front. RRR wasn't even nominated. They won song. That's what they won.
It definitely should have been nominated. At least nominated.
Yeah. All Quiet on the Western Front winning that is kind of interesting because it was also up for Best Picture, which I always think is interesting when they get the nomination for International and for Best Picture.
Yeah.
It's almost like it was they knew it wasn't going to win for Best Picture. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Does Europe have their own Oscars?
I think so.
I wonder what the big European Film Award is, and I wonder if they won there too. I wonder if they're just cleaning up.
I think Bollywood also has its own awards ceremony.
I hope so. Yeah.
I wonder if RRR was up for anything over there.
I want to start watching more Bollywood. I watched one Indian movie last year called Vikram, and it was so good. It was so good. Like, I really recommend it. It's it's basically MacGruber, but like serious, but like also super funny.
Okay.
You know, like and there's a song and there's a dance. Like, yeah, I want to start watching more Bollywood.
Yeah.
European Film Awards.
Yeah. European Film
Academy Awards. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the last time they did it was in 2021.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
It's only been 35, so.
Maybe they're pulling the plug on that. All right. Well, let's go to makeup and hair. Because we're already at 45 minutes.
That's where Batman.
Well.
That's where Batman makes its first appearance.
Which, again, like and I think that's all Penguin. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe a little bit of Catwoman, but I feel like essentially they're talking.
I agree.
The bat suit was cool, and
but that's costume. Yeah, this is hair and makeup. Like
his eye stuff. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, his eye stuff.
I was surprised Black Panther didn't take this one down. Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of thing. Like it's got such a rich look to each of the cast members that you think that I could see Wakanda winning this.
And I hate.
I don't know.
All Quiet on the Western Front or Elvis, because it's a time period pieces, and especially in Elvis, making the women doing their hair like how it used to be. You forget that women used to rock their hair a lot different than they do currently. You know, and then when you see a movie like that, men, we keep our hair short. It's pretty basic.
Yeah.
It's not exact, but it's pretty basic. But women, especially back in the 50s, 60s, they rocked their hair a lot different than we did, you know. So, I don't know. And I haven't seen All Quiet on the Western Front. Makeup, I think, also includes, like, the blood on your face and stuff, you know what I mean? So, I get why that got a nomination. I was surprised The Whale did, because that literally means that they're saying the fat suit for Brendan Fraser is what won that award.
Which... and that's fine. Like, I haven't seen The Whale, and that's fine. But I do think if we're counting the fat suit for The Whale, then we should also count the suit for Barbarian. if we're counting that counts, then it's like Barbarian should be listed as well.
Nick's got some great takes tonight, man. I'm loving it.
It's the same thing. Like, that's well, then Barbarian.
I mean, yeah, speak your truth, Nick. And I loved Barbarian. Barbarian was great. Yeah. Barbarian was great.
Still think Barbarian. You know Barbarian's a good horror movie when you're still thinking about it like almost half a year later. I think about Barbarian all the time.
I hope they don't make a sequel, even though I kind of want them to. At the same time, I don't want them to touch it. It's interesting.
I feel like I say that he's not going to do it, and he's already writing it. He's working on the next horror movie right now. It's my So, yeah, I think he even said, he's like, oh, no, it's a one and done.
Yeah.
I feel like, I used to watch that Whitest Kids You Know podcast a lot. I haven't checked in with it. I haven't checked in with it since Barbarian.
My last thing about The Whale is that I did see a thing with Jim Carrey talking about when he did The Grinch, and how much time and effort it took for them to make him look like that. And I'm imagining it was very similar for The Whale, because he's fully in that thing. Yeah, and it's crazy. Like comparing it to Batman, he's 3 times bigger than the Penguin. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it is really insane, but he's the only, there's only like I said, there's 4 actors in the whole movie pretty much. There's maybe 5 4 actors who really have screen time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's really like they were literally giving it to him for that one character. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Now the next category, when we were watching it live, I really just didn't want. Oh wait, is this score? No, this is song.
This is score.
No, this would
score?
be like. Yeah. This is like the orchestration.
So this was a highway robbery. This is the one that kind of really bummed me out. John Williams is like 90 something right now, and he pretty much invented this category. This is the only category that I actually was kind of bummed by. Not like super bummed, but just kind of bummed by. I just wanted John Williams to win it. I imagine this is maybe his last time getting a nomination and showing up. I'd be surprised if he's back again next year, unless they give it to him for Indiana Jones.
I was gonna say this. Like, is it been confirmed that he's doing it?
I don't.
Because I was like, hopefully, if not this, Indy.
You looking it up, Jerry?
Yeah. Since the 50s, he started in the 50s.
Yes, I mean, I haven't seen everything all at once, so I don't know. I'm sure it has a great score. The Banshees actually had a fantastic score for what the film was. Babylon, didn't see it. I imagine it's good though, because I know it's a movie about music. He is doing it.
Yeah.
So maybe he comes back next year. I highly doubt they give Indiana Jones a nod, but that would be cool. Maybe it will be a makeup call and they just give it to him unless something really good comes out.
I mean, Harrison could win one. Like, that'd be crazy.
That'd be amazing. Don't say that, Nick. Don't get my heart. Don't get my emotions up with that comment. Next year, I'm going to be like you with Batman. I'm going to be yelling about how Indiana Jones should have got all the nominations.
Because it's like, you can already tell. It's like, I feel like, we'll see that movie and be like, this was such a great fucking, and it's like, it's not going to get any. It's like, that's how it always is.
It should, though.
So it's like, man, we'll be raging.
Yeah, we'll rage next year.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I haven't seen All Quiet on the Western Front. It's hard for me to say it.
The top of my list.
Yeah. So I'll watch that. But I'm just saying, from like a fanboy, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, John Williams, man, he's the man. So.
I mean, he's the best for a reason. Like, it is like, he's undeniable.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, now original song. I just wanted Lady Gaga to not win. No offense to her. I kind of wanted Rihanna to win, mainly because I am a Rihanna fan. I enjoy her music. I thought it would have been real cool if she would have won it. Obviously, Ryan Coogler, Oakland native, also on the list there with her. I thought that would have been cool. RRR actually is the one that took it down on that.
Hell yeah.
And that song was awesome that they played. I'm not a huge fan of that style of music, but it was cool. They did the whole song and dance number to it. It was very interesting. Good for them. The Top Gun song, that's the Lady Gaga one. It just, to me, wasn't it. And for some reason, I thought that was going to be the winner. And I was like, no, don't let that win. The Everything All at Once song was kind of all over the place. It's an interesting song, but it didn't feel like a hit, if you know what I mean.
I saw the movie, so I know I've heard it, but I can't even think of it. I don't know. This is the life. Like, I have no idea.
It's kind of psychedelic-y. It's like a psychedelic, electric psychedelic kind of vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was interesting.
It's got David Byrne lyrics and then Mitski. Like, so like that's pretty sick. There's some people that wrote that.
Yeah.
I don't know who Ryan Lott is.
Yeah. I mean, that was a pretty easy. I thought it was between Gaga and Rihanna, but that's just being like, oh, those are the two big names.
Yeah. And I'm sure commercially, those two are the ones that sold them. Like, I'm sure it's like, those are the songs that made them.
I will say, though, the Black Panther album from before, for the first one, which was produced and done by Kendrick Lamar, was better. No offense. I really like that album he made for the movie. I listen to it all the time. Still today,
yeah,
I listen to that album.
A couple. What one do I listen to? Something about King Killmonger.
Yeah, dude, there's good songs on that album, man.
Yeah, there's some good.
And
stuff.
they got snubbed that year. I don't think he even got the nomination, Kendrick.
Wow.
And then we're already to Best Picture. Is this the end of the line here, Jerry?
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Okay. I kind of, at this point of the night when I was watching, I pretty much had a gut feeling because at this point they had already kind of swept it. At the same time, though, All Quiet on the Western Front had slipped into quite a few trophies that night. And I was like, oh, damn, is All Quiet on the Western Front? Because Jimmy Kimmel made some joke at the very beginning of the show about how All Quiet on the Western Front was going to win Best Picture. And I was like, whoa, did Jimmy Kimmel just spoil the whole show? You know, Addie said the same thing to me when we talked about it. Once again, I kind of, a part of me wanted Fabelmans to win just so Spielberg would once again get up there and talk, but I knew there was no chance. And we're not done. There's definitely special effects because Avatar won special effects. We all knew Avatar wasn't going to win. That was a given. I pretty much knew Elvis wasn't going to win because he had already lost Best Supporting or Best Actor, which I kind of thought maybe he was going to win, and he didn't. So, you know, in my mind, it was like it's either All Quiet on the Western Front or it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. Kind of still wanted Fabelmans to win, even though I haven't seen it. That was purely out of wanting Spielberg to talk. And then, you know, of course, the movie we kind of took the year by surprise. Everything All at Once won another award.
I mean, yeah.
I'm definitely curious as to what your response would be, like what your review is going to be after you see them sweep it, and then are you going to be like, I don't know if I agree with that. Like it's good because I think if you see it before the Academy Awards, you're gonna or the Oscars or whatever, you're gonna be like, I loved it. It's an amazing movie. But now seeing how critically acclaimed, I wonder if you're like, I think you guys really.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, Nick D. I'll say that.
Personally, think that you will just like it. Like I think it's a Tubes movie.
I think so too. I'm excited to see it still.
King's Dead was the Kendrick Lamar song I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, Best Picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
Top Gun was on there. Oh, Triangle of Sadness and Woman. I didn't realize the list was so long.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Top Gun. That's just a nod. There was no way they were winning it. I would have been so surprised. And then the other two, Triangle of Sadness. We'll talk about that. We'll just we'll skip over that because right when we finish this, we'll get right into Triangle of Sadness. Women Talks. I've heard good things. Mark Bernardin talked about it on A Fat Man Beyond. I've heard good things. I'd like to check it out. I think it's based off a true story. If I'm not,
I'll look.
Or maybe I'm mistaking that for a different film. Maybe I'm thinking of a different movie. But I've heard good. I'm pretty sure I've heard good. I'm pretty sure I've heard good things about Women Talks. And Frances McDormand, she's the one that's partners with the Coen brother, Joel, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I
that makes
so,
sense.
Yeah.
So she was Fargo.
Yeah, she's a great actress. She's been in so many big movies, Academy Award style films and stuff. So her being involved in that probably speaks highly of the movie as well, because she doesn't really attach her name to crummy films at all.
100%. Yeah.
It's inspired by a novel that's loosely based on a chilling tale.
Okay.
Women Talking?
Women Talking, yeah.
Is it like a horror movie?
No.
I don't even know what it is.
A chilling tale about women in a Mennonite colony grappling with the aftermath of years of drugged sexual assault.
Wow.
That sounds
heavy. It sounds heavy, man. That sounds heavy.
I've literally never heard of that movie until right now.
Yeah.
I've seen the
but
poster.
That sounds interesting, and I love Frances McDormand.
Yeah. She's great.
Yeah.
Product design's our next one. Or production design? Product design. Production design. I mean, once again, it makes sense, you know, that one.
It's such a big, encompassing.
I feel like
probably a lot of
all of these had like an equal shot at it because, like, again, I only saw a couple of these movies, but just from I only saw one of them, Avatar. But just from like the trailers, you can tell like time and money went into these. Like, it's like all of these had a shot. I feel like.
It's 4 period pieces and then one film that's just crazy futuristic.
Sci-fi, yeah.
Yeah. But the one that's crazy futuristic, it's like that's a visual effects, not necessarily a production design. But that's just me saying that. I don't know. I'm not, Mr. Hollywood here.
Yeah. All quiet.
Short film, animated.
So I watched half of this. It's a really cool animation style.
Okay.
There were fans on, so I don't know much of what they were saying to each other, but there is a boy, a mole, a fox, and a horse, and it just starts. There's no like backstory. He's just walking. He can talk to animals, and
that's pretty cool.
The
I
the
saw him
shorts
eat
are
the
always
fox.
hard because it's like I never know where to find those.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
This
Like I'm
was
sure they're
Apple
online.
TV.
Oh, Apple
Apple
TV.
TV has them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they have like a full thing, and then they have the individual ones. And I was like, all right, this is 30 minutes. I'll watch this. I only watched 15, but it's cool. I like the style of it. Let me see if I can put a picture real quick. Other than that, the only one that grabbed me by title is My Year of Dicks.
Yeah,
I don't know what that's
I
about.
voted for that purely out of funniness of the title. I knew it wasn't going to win, but I voted for it.
Lackland Pendragon is a dope name. I wonder if that's a real name or if that's a stage name. For my ostrich told me the world, like Lackland. Oh, that does look cool. The boy, the mole. That does have a cool style. Looks
I
painted.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the backgrounds were painted, and then the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse were digitally done on top to look like that.
That's awesome.
I don't know. There's not like a big scene. Yeah, I don't know. The way they do it was cool. It was cool what I saw.
Interesting.
Yeah. So good on them.
Then same here. I didn't see any of these. I have nothing to really say about short film live action. Congrats to all the nominees, and congratulations to the winner.
Yeah.
That's all I
Any of
got.
these.
Yeah.
Sound. Here we go.
Sound, I wasn't
See,
too surprised
this
by
is where I would say Batman should have won.
Batman.
I see, boys, I'm going to disagree right here off tops. The fact that they were able to record those jets, because it's all real, it's not digital. That's real jets, and they recorded it, and they have to implement that sound, and they got to make the levels all crazy the same and all that kind of stuff. I totally understood that this was the one. If they're going to give Top Gun one award, this kind of makes sense to me that that's the award they got. I would have said that, or to me, I would have figured Avatar. Or, I mean, All Quiet on the Western Front. I don't know. I don't know about All Quiet on the Western Front. Still haven't seen it. Elvis, I figured no chance. No offense to Batman, Nick. I didn't think it really had a chance, especially because they barely had nominations to begin with. They were kind of just a throw-in. I wasn't surprised at I think I even picked Top Gun to win this category because I just figured jets and recording the audio, that must be gnarly. Because you got wind, you got wind blowing too, but you want to get that single audio, right, Jeremy? I don't know. It just, to me, that seemed like that's a crazy one to do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, it is. Yeah, doing that of recording all that shit, and that is a big part of it. Like you said, that is a hard thing to record. Where it's like, sure, a lot of gun sounds and war stuff, but like they can do that. Where I'm sure recording a jet, there's crazy ways you have to do that because of the fucking fire.
Yeah.
And stuff. And just the power, like, yeah, I don't know.
And like
That
Mike's
definitely-
blowing off the planes and stuff. They're like, damn it, we lost another mic. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, just all of it. They probably, everywhere, inside, outside.
Like if they had a stunt, category or like if they did practical
That would-
or practical
That would
Oh yeah, practical effects. That'd be
practical
cool.
effects, Top Gun.
Yeah.
Top Gun should have won awards that weren't even given out. I know that sounds crazy, but like practical effects, Top Gun.
Yeah, other things they did. Yeah.
Yeah, because visual effects, we could scroll right on down to it. It's not even a surprise who won it, and they should have.
Yeah.
Once again, almost like how I felt about sound, I felt the same way about the visual effects. Clearly, no offense to Batman, no offense to Top Gun or Black Panther. Black Panther has some really good visual effects as well. But, dude, Avatar is a visual effect film. That is all it is. If you're not there for the visual effects, then why are you even there? Because the storyline's not good, you know?
Yeah.
So them winning this award was a shoo-in. It should have been the first award they gave out just to get it over with. Here you guys go. Talk real quick because we already know. And you'll be here maybe next year or the following year when your next one comes out because no one's competing with them with what they're doing.
Yeah.
With visuals.
I mean, they're coming out of water. They got droplets on them. They're digital. It's a 6 foot tall, let's say it's a 6 foot tall man, right? Playing a 10 foot tall alien.
Yeah.
That's crazy. and then you add in the water and the droplets. I heard Kevin Smith talk about it, and I was like, dang, he's right. Like, that is insane. I can't even grasp or what have you how insane that must be to do.
Yeah.
Took him what, 10 years? When was the last Avatar?
Yeah, something like that or more.
Yeah.
Wild. Definitely wild.
But they got like 4 coming out, Nick. So screw it.
Yeah, exactly. Now that he's started, he's gonna start cranking.
Now this I haven't seen women talking, so I don't really know. I kind of wanted Glass Onion to win just because I enjoyed that film, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool if they won a little award right here. All Quiet on the Western Front, I kind of think it's the second time it's been done, so it's kind of like, all right, dude, this has been done before. You're doing it again. Top Gun, I thought Top Gun was an original screenplay. I was surprised to know that was adapted.
What is it? What does that mean then? This was a book?
Yeah.
There's a Maverick book?
Book or maybe they originally wrote something not necessarily meant for movie, but then it's like, all right, well now we have to sort of approach it differently. So I have no idea. I wouldn't have known that.
Really interesting.
Quite a lot of names on that too, though. Quite a lot of names on that one.
Yeah, story by Peter Craig and Justin Marks.
Huh. Yeah.
Then the screenplay, yeah. Interesting. Women Talks, should see it. Nick, Jerry, you said it was based off a book that's semi-based off true stories.
Yeah, book loosely based off of a true story.
So it kind of makes sense that they won that.
Do you think, so Everything Everywhere All at Once, obviously amazing movie and everything, but from a writing point of view, do you think Triangle of Sadness had a shot at this? Like,
No.
if you're just looking at the script?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Triangle of Sadness, it's just such a
Not
weird
at all.
movie for it to like, because I looked at the director and like, there's only one other movie I've seen. I haven't even seen it, but like I've seen the cover of it. So it's just interest. Oh my god, it's such a crazy.
We'll get into it, right? We're almost done here, Jerry. So we'll get right into it.
So
Yeah.
like, for it to just be like, I don't know. It's crazy. No.
I'm gonna say the same thing I've said 4 times.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's the last one. I'm gonna say the same thing. I want Spielberg to win, just to once again see Spielberg talk. And it's a movie about him making movies, and I know it was hard for him to write this film, because I think it has a lot of personal information about his relationship with his parents, and I think his mom was mistreated by his dad. I'm not 100% on that. I know there's some trauma in there, and he wrote about it, so I know that was hard for him to do. So I kind of wanted to see that happen. Banshees, it's a good movie.
I could see Banshees being a really good book. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, so I'm surprised that this is an original screenplay and not adapted. Like,
yeah. So I don't know. Everything All at Once, though, it clearly is the movie of the year. Clearly. And if you're going to take director and you're going to take picture, you might as well get the writing, too. Because clearly that plays a role in the other ones. So and editing. So, they won the big things you should win. And then they won all the acting ones, too. They won Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Supporting Actor. So, duh, they're going to win this one. I think that's as easy to put it. Duh. Yeah. So, altogether...
Go on.
No. Go, please, Jerry. I was just saying altogether good Oscars. Yeah, go ahead.
But he also co-wrote The Batman.
Oh, wow.
Peter Craig.
These two dudes just told stories about, I don't know, it's so weird looking into what it was. It's like, they just told stories about it.
So they like pitched an idea
and then
someone wrote
kind of fleshed it out. Yeah. That's what it seemes like. But and then he wrote
the business
Batman.
We need to get into, where we don't even write scripts. We're just like, this is what we're thinking.
Oh, we read a basic storyline. No actual conversation.
I want that.
Yeah, it just says, written by the 3 other dudes from stories by Peter Craig and Justin Marks. That's all it says.
Wow.
Stories.
Interesting.
What a cool job.
They're just like flying around.
You know that girl from the first one? He goes back and meets her at the bar. You know what I mean? Like they're just winging it.
Yeah.
And then they give it to writers to actually turn it into a script.
Yeah.
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 Altogether, it was a good Oscars. Even without seeing everywhere, everything all at once, it's awesome to see sci-fi films or a sci-fi film win the Oscars the way that they won. I thought that was really cool. Like I said before, I think Jimmy did a great job being the host. I think they should bring him back even. The flow of it was great. They showed all the awards this time. I know last year they skipped a few awards and did them pre-show, which was kind of wacky. It's cool that they fit them all in. It went on a little longer than it normally does, but it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It's like my Super Bowl. Thought it was a good time. I mean, I watched the red carpet all the way through, so I'm a sucker for this. Awesome. Fantastic job. Congrats to the Oscars. I'll be back next year. That's pretty much it.
When's the next award show?
I don't know. A year from now, yeah. So like
No, but I mean, like, are the Academy Awards come? Like, isn't it like every couple?
That is the Academy Awards. The Oscars is the Academy Awards.
Oh, the Academy Awards and the Oscars are the same thing?
Yeah, it's just two different. Yeah.
Oh, I genuinely didn't know they were different.
Right? Am I wrong, Jerry?
I thought the Academy
I have no
Awards
idea.
The Oscar is the name of the trophy.
So the
is that what it
Tonys.
is that what it is? Like,
I think so.
I won an Oscar. I went to the Academy. Is that
The,
what it
the
is?
Academy Awards
so,
votes for the Oscars.
Yeah, because it says Oscars final voting and then Academy Awards ceremony. So the next thing is the Tony Awards in May.
Tonys. The Tonys, yeah.
And then after that is Cannes Film Festival.
Yep.
You've been to that, right?
Oh, here we go.
I've been, but not during the award. I went to Cannes or the beach and saw where they have. I saw where they have the event, and I think I took a photo.
That's sick.
I was only impressed because that was during the Entourage time period, Jerry. You'll remember, and I knew it from Entourage, to be honest. So I was like, "Oh, whoa, this is cool."
That's dope.
Yeah, and like people referencing it, maybe like Kevin Smith or somebody, but not like I didn't know. I don't know. I still don't know anything about it. It's not like they broadcast anything from it, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, be cool to win one.
Then,
that'd be amazing.
In June, it's the MTV Movie Awards.
Trash.
That's funny that they're still doing that.
Stupid.
It's like that's crazy that the MTV Movie Awards are still a thing.
Just give Jackass all the awards. Oh, you want to talk about a movie that got skipped, Nick D? How did Jackass not get one nomination? Where's sound for that, bro? They captured all the sound.
There should be like some sort of stunt category or something where it is like I don't know. Like
the highlight reel of Jackass doing their stunts would be so ridiculous.
For real.
But yeah, let's get into Triangle of Sadness. We're already hitting the hour and 15, so let's just get right into it and start freaking going. I know we got a lot.
Craziest movie. I thought it was going to be more of a comedy. It is not. That movie, there were so many like uncomfortable parts.
The whole island.
The island was crazy, and like if you are like, I don't know about ships, do not watch this movie. Like when they hit that storm and everybody starts puking everywhere, and then the woman starts sliding around in her puke and diarrhea because it's that violent. That is awful. That was so awful.
The first person.
Oh my God.
Jerry, the first person that gets up from the dinner table and just starts spewing instantly. And the thing too is that when you see people vomit a lot of time, they do this side turn because they have like a thing right here. This movie, they do not. Like they're straight looking forward while vomiting. It's super crazy. It's really well done. They should have got a nomination for visual effects now that I think about it. Because I don't know how they pulled it off. Even the poop coming out the toilet. Dude, it is that whole scene with the boat, Jerry, you're totally right, Jerry. If you ever thought about getting seasick, do not watch this film. Do not watch it. The one thing I'll point out too, just because you had the poster up, it's crazy that they put Woody Harrelson's name there. That's purely because he already is a big name actor, because he's barely in this fucking movie. And I felt like that's a lie. You know what I mean, Jared? Because I even when they get to the island, I was like, oh, he's gonna pop up.
For him to be center like
Mm-hmm.
this, and it's like out of a what is it, like 2.5 hour movie? He has like 20 minutes
Maybe.
in like the end half of the middle of the movie. Like he is not in this movie.
No.
It is a, I will say it is a bait and switch for sure.
Yep.
But it was an interesting movie. She's a very interesting character.
Which one?
The
the woman
helper.
leader, or woman boat lady.
Well,
yeah,
the boat. Yeah, the boat lady. And then what was her name? I don't remember her name.
the one that takes over the island.
Gabriella or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Gabby. Yeah.
Like this was just such a good.
The old Russian man too was fantastic.
Yeah, like so, because I feel this falls into, I don't know if it's like a new genre or just interest or what, of like the ultra wealthy and their like crazy vacations, and the way this movie did that and the things they go through, because it is a little bit of like, they're not necessarily the worst people, like
I don't
by
know,
intention,
dude.
by intention.
Okay.
They've
So
lived
you're saying
such
it's
a
not like
life.
Epstein.
Well, sorry, Nick.
No.
What'd you say, Nick?
I was just gonna say. So you're saying it's not like an Epstein Island? Because again,
No.
I'm like, oh, are these shit?
I will say,
Yeah, no,
Jerry,
no.
the old couple though that were invested in arms dealing, and then the grenade shows up. They're like, "Is that one of ours?" That like, I was like, "Oh my
That was
god!"
funny.
It was
Yeah,
funny, but
so 'cause
they're clearly they're evil.
Well, so, because I read about it after, and the director did say, he was like, yeah, they're all terrible people, but he was like, if you notice, the arms dealing couple were the nicest couple on the ship.
Yeah.
And so it just is a thing of like, there are people who made their fortune in terrible ways, but actually aren't necessarily, again,
That's
by
so
intention,
true.
the worst
That's so
people.
true. That's very true.
But they
man.
all are, again, especially when they get to the island, you do see that whole, like, they're all just sitting around the entire time. And Gabby is the only one who's actually, like, working. And then I don't remember the other woman's name. Like, she helps, but out of, like, obligation. It's just a very interesting way of the way they did the whole, like, ultra wealthy, like, taking their trips and stuff.
But the twist is that Gabby then becomes evil.
Yeah, it's a
Not a twist, not a twist. It just shows.
Even knowing all of this, Nick, you should see it.
Oh,
just
100%.
because of like the way they
I
did the movie.
I do want to see it. Is it like Lord of the Fly?
Kinda, yeah, yeah, in a sense, because they get doesn't matter. They do
Shipwrecked.
Shipwrecked, and they do end up on an island, and again it's a role reversal thing type, blah blah blah. The cleaning lady gets the power because she actually has survival skills, but it's just they do it in a good way, and like visually, like again the when they hit the storm and all of that stuff is crazy. When they're on the island, just oh my god, when they figure out what the sound is,
Yeah.
and they like deal with the sound. Like, that's a crazy scene.
Was that your first? I gotta say it, Nick. I'm sorry, Nick, but was that your first sign that something wasn't right about the island?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Because dude, that didn't like immediately. I was like, okay, this island's not normal.
Again, to spoil it, because I do have the question about that. How did nobody like notice the shipwreck?
I agree.
Because as you see, there's smoke, and it's just a thing. By the end, it's like, well, how did nobody notice that? So I don't know if that's more of a commentary on it again or what.
Well, we don't know, Jerry, how long they were out at sea before they landed on the island.
But what we do know
they skipped that
is
part.
how
They
long they
completely
were
skip it.
there. But because he grows a beard, he grows that long beard, so they were there for weeks at minimum,
And
like at least a month.
Because you said that too, I thought it was like, high tide. The reason they didn't see anybody was high tide. But he grows, the Russian guy grows so much hair and stuff, and everyone changes the way they look so much, so drastically that it's like, that's not just high tide. So I will say the ending, when it all comes together, you're like, that it's a cool movie, but it also doesn't make any sense. It's like it's a little far-fetchy.
the
Like
last
but
bit.
and so by that, do you mean like it feels like supernatural? Like this doesn't make sense,
No,
or
No,
is it
just
like
bullshit. Just
it's
bullshit.
a
Yeah.
like they wanted to like come to a ending in a way, and they just did it,
Yep.
and it's just like, well, if that's what you're doing, wouldn't there have been a few other things that
Other
would have
signs. Yeah.
also happened? So like again, it's good, but yeah, maybe the last 10 minutes are like, wait, what?
And how long would you fucking sit there and not go looking for shit?
That's yeah. There's just a few things that are little like, what? That would have been like the first thing I do is like we're circling the island,
Yeah.
yeah?
just
I
to get a
It feels
sense of like, are there more
feels like
survivors?
yeah, or
it
food.
feels like you're talking about like Lost. Like it's like it seems
Yeah.
like I'm like I am curious. I'm like what is this? Because you haven't really said anything. So I'm like, man, what
Yeah.
is this movie?
You
Like,
gotta see
I'm
it.
definitely gonna see it.
You got to see it,
Yeah,
Nick.
you
And
should see it.
you watch it, and we'll go into further details once you see it, Nick. I
Yeah,
want you to go
it's on
into it.
Hulu.
It's on. Yeah, it's on
It's
Hulu.
on Hulu.
Yeah,
It is cool. I do like their scene together when Woody
Yeah.
and the Russian guy have their scene. That was pretty funny.
I'm not a communist. I'm a Marxist.
Marxist.
yeah, yeah. I
Who
will.
is the?
Um,
Do I know that guy?
Nah,
Who's that
I
actor?
don't.
they're all
know.
new actors except for Woody for the most part. To go back real quick, Jerry, on something you said, you're like, oh, is this like a new style of movie or whatever? I will say Triangle of Sadness, The Menu, and White Lotus. I know White
And
Lotus
Glass
was
Onion. I would add Glass Onion to that.
Glass
a little
Onion.
bit,
Glass
little.
Onion's kind of your classic. The second one, the new one, right?
Yeah, the
That's-
new one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Knives Out.
Yeah.
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 It
yeah,
is
the
a
new
little
one.
bit more, but it is almost a classic whodunit, murder mystery whodunit.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
but it is about the rich. You're right. You're right. It is. But dude, the other three, especially like White Lotus and this and The Menu, it's this this past year was all about how the rich suck. You know, like all three of those films are one's a TV show, but it might as well be. It's just a really long movie, in my opinion. They all hit the same notes about like the rich.
Yeah.
The rich are twisted. They get what they deserve. You know, and then the
Yeah.
poor, but the poor people are weird too, and they kind of turn into that. Like, what do you call it? The Menu definitely does that, and so does White Lotus season 2. I'm only halfway through, but it totally does all that.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that all these films in television kind of been on the same path. I don't know.
Yeah. They all, like you said, I think hitting the same notes. Great way to put it.
So my question to you, Jerry, well, let's get to rating it, and then we got so much to talk about. We'll just move on. But not only do I want you to rate it real quick, Jerry, but I want you to rate it next to give me a rating, and then give me a rating next to The Menu, because I think they're very similar in my opinion. Which one do you like more out of? That's really what I'm asking. You don't got to rate them next to each other, but just which one did you like more?
This one was more shocking in a lasting way, I feel.
Yeah.
It's probably like a B, maybe B plus. Like it was cool. It's like you said though, I wouldn't. I'm not popping this movie on all the time. It really is
It's a one and done. Yeah.
Because I feel with like Menu, there are things you could probably go back and watch for, blah blah blah. Where this one, it's like I don't really think there is. I don't think there's much you can gain from a second viewing. So it's like it's a B. It's solid, but like I would, if somebody was like, hey, get that to a B plus, I wouldn't have a problem.
Yeah. It's definitely not A or S, but yeah.
Yeah, where like I do think Menu was a bit more traditional in that sense of like, okay, like they had, I think like you're saying,
The
because a lot
violence.
of these were new actors, they could do this a lot of weird stuff that's just crazy. Where the other one, they're like, well, Anya's not gonna probably want to do this, and then same with Ray Fiennes, or whatever. That seemed more of like a classic version of this, where this one was more of like, hey, we're gonna shock you.
Yeah, like The Menu's more violent, where this is more character driven. This is a lot more character driven.
That's a good way.
And you don't have one arching bad guy that all the rich are focused on. On this, they're all bad guys. Everyone in Triangle of Sadness is kind of fucked up. Where in the menu, it's like
And
they're all kind of fucked up, but these guys are really fucked up.
You really get a sense because they talk a lot about the people sunbathing, like the first, what is that, like 20, 30 minutes or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
It's just all them. So you really
That
do
was
get
really
character
interesting, though.
stuff. It was. I hadn't see again.
The model shit was interesting.
From this picture, and when you watch it, it really is like, what am I watching? Like the poster is so different than what I thought.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. B towards B plus.
I go B
It's
minus
pushed.
for me.
Okay.
Now, I did like the menu
Yeah.
better, but because everything you
Mm-hmm.
said, it's a little bit more traditional. It's a lot more violent, so the pacing's a little bit different in the menu than this. This is really slow and drawn out. It's a lot more like White
Yeah.
Lotus, where it's a big payout kind of at
Yeah.
the end. But I did like the characters in this. Even the male model guy, I kind of was like digging his vibes and stuff until they get to the island. He kind of changes his pace a little bit, and he's willing to do whatever. And it kind of goes back to the intro of the movie, and you're like, oh, okay, dude. Now do you see what it's, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's a very interesting film. Nick, 100% you need to check it out. So
You should, definitely see it. But also having as much as I liked it, I don't understand why it was nominated for some of
Yeah.
those things. This movie's fucking crazy.
yeah,
Interesting.
insane. Very bizarro. Very bizarro. Yeah,
Yeah. It was cool though.
it's cool.
It was cool.
It's definitely cool, and it's filmed great. The filming's like the cinematography and everything is really well done. So
Have you guys seen anything else by Ruben Östlund?
nah, I looked him up, but
so that was.
yeah.
You might. I don't know. I think you might have seen the movie. Let me pull up some screens. What's his name?
That was a Bobby Lee suggestion too. That's why I watched that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he spoke very highly of it on a episode of Bad Friends, and I was like, oh. And then I saw it on Hulu, and it was up for Oscars, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out Bobby Lee.
Do you remember this movie? I don't know if we ever watched it, Nick, but it was on like
The Square.
That looks
No,
super
rich
interesting.
people. It's like rich people make people fight for money, or something. And he's one
No,
of
but
them.
that sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
look
if I
that up,
watched
too.
it or again just have seen the title a bunch that it's like blah blah blah.
I want to
But
watch
yeah,
that.
I've definitely seen that.
The Square, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to find that, Nick,
Yeah.
and watch that.
Yeah. Sounds great.
All right. What's next on our?
something to do with finance. So yeah, we can either do the two movies you watched by yourself, or I could quickly talk about Nobody since you guys had already seen that.
Yeah, hit nobody, Jerry. Let's hit it.
Which is all I would say is like that was really cool, and I didn't think I'd believe Bob Odenkirk as a like John Wick, but he crushed it in this. This movie was great. The bus scene when he's like, "I'm gonna fuck you up" or whatever.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say a bus scene, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's also not a thing where it's like, oh, he just messes everybody up. It's like, dude, they whooped him as well, but he just kept getting back up,
Yeah.
and it was cool. And then I do love when they all like go to his house and he kills them all, and he looks under the couch and he's just like, the kitty bracelet was there.
yeah.
That it's just like, oh, none of this had to happen, but I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
What's that Christmas
really
movie that came out as well with Santa Claus killing everybody? Because it's the same vibes. It's like this. It's John Wick. It's this. It's that evil Santa Claus with the dude from Stranger Things. They all have. I don't know what genre we would call that. I mean, it's action horror almost. I don't know. No, it's not horror necessarily. But it's like crazy violent action.
Yeah.
It was great. It was fantastic. What do you rate it though, Jerry? You give it a B, a A?
I was surprised. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna go with like A minus.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
I was surprised.
Close to an
This
S.
was because I put it on the background and I ended up sitting down and watching it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It will do
so
that.
yeah.
It's so action packed that I see it catching your eye, and you're like, "Whoa!" I just want to watch one scene, and then the pacing of it so well that you're just like, "Yeah,
Yeah, it just keeps going. So yeah, I thoroughly like that. I know you guys saw it like in the drive-in you said earlier.
I think the drive-in, right, Nick? To you?
I want to say so, yeah.
It was a while ago at this point. That was last March, a year
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
2 years it came out in 21.
Oh wow, so 2 years ago. Yeah, wow. It's
yeah,
on
so
HBO right now, right?
Yeah, definitely holds up. If someone's looking for a quick little 90-minute movie, this is a recommend.
Yeah, definitely a recommendation. I probably say it's A-, B+. Bob Odenkirk's
Yeah.
just such a good actor. He's such a good
And
actor.
again, to go from like comedy to like this is a good one for doing the what's it called, like action stuff, because like he's good in Saul or whatever as Saul. But yeah, he was cool in this. I liked it. Good surprise. Good surprise.
Yeah, great film.
And so yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about the two things you watched, then the rest is all stuff we either watched with Nick or he did on his own.
I have 3 things. I forgot to put one on the list, and I'll just knock it out the park right here. You don't necessarily have to pull it up. I watched Signs for the first time. I think we've talked about that on here before because we've talked M. Night Shyamalan many a times. I'm a big M. Night fan. I had never actually seen this. It's the 3rd motion picture, if I'm not mistaken. It's Sixth Sense, then it's Unbreakable, and then it was this. I don't know why I skipped this one. What year was it?
Like 99, 2002.
Okay, so I think I was just in my crazy skateboard time period, and I just didn't see it. I knew that the water was the issue, and I know you, Jerry, has even bitched about that, and BK absolutely hates it and says that this is the film that made him not like M. Night. I personally find that to be a little crazy because I feel like now knowing that it was the water, but still never seeing the movie, M. Night himself tells you that it's the water midway through the film. He literally, the director is in the movie, and he straight tells you it's the water. Right? That's the solution, which I thought was interesting. And as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, okay, so he's already told you it. To me, the twist in this film is that the young boy, Macaulay Culkin Jr., doesn't die because of his asthma. I thought that was the twist. And the fact that they kind of hinted at it in the basement when he gets first grabbed, and then at the end, you know, they'd already built up the how they were using gas, too. They mentioned that somewhere in the movie as well. Now, it coming out the wrist was a little interesting because it's like, why doesn't he just stab the young boy? But I guess he wanted to keep the body alive is the theory, right? I thought the movie was fantastic. The whole mom passing away and how they incorporated that into the whole film with M. Night as the bad guy, I thought was very well done. I thought it was a great way of doing alien film without having crazy big explosion yada yadas, and keep it kind of more basic and in-house, you know? I know Mel Gibson isn't, you know, let's just say it, he's not a good person. He's kind of a piece of shit. He's amazing in this film. He's great. And him being a priest makes sense, you know? All of it like adds up. Joaquin Phoenix, too, fantastic. I thought the little girl, the little boy, everyone is just really well done in the film. I thought it was just a great motion picture, personally. It feels a little dated, but I really, really enjoyed it. I'm surprised it took me so long to watch it, and I'm really glad I finally saw it. I'm going to give the movie an A. And I think I disagree with Beeks. I think it's another awesome mark on M. Night's career. You know, he wrote the movie, he directed the movie, he even has a couple scenes in it. I really like M. Night Shyamalan. I'm just going to say it. I do. I think he's fantastic. I think this one, unlike Sixth Sense, has more rewatchability because just to me, whether you know it's the effing water or not, it's still hella cool scenes and stuff in the build-up.
And like this, even knowing that like the footage is the alien coming, big jump scare. Got me.
Yeah, it got me too.
That it's like, you know, it's there. And I guess like if you go back, you can see it in the bushes or whatever, but you know it's coming, and all it does is walk across the screen. And it made me jump when I first saw it. Like, it's just done well.
I think maybe if I watched it, when it first came out, I would have been like upset, like you guys were kind of, and maybe I would have been a little bit more like, that kind of sucks. But because it had been so long and we don't get very many original stories that are like not over the top special effects and stuff. Like we saw Shazam last night, and I think the difference between Shazam 1 and Shazam 2 is that they went so big with all the effects and all the extra like stuff going on. And in Shazam 1, it was a little bit more like this. Not like this at all, but it was a little more controlled. Yeah. And I felt like this is it's this big family. I don't know. I just really liked it. The mom, like, I'll go back to it. The mom being crushed with the car and all that explanation was like, whoa. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, and the flashbacks of that, I don't know. It's just, for me, it worked.
Yeah. I would say maybe like first seeing it was like, oh, it's cool, but the water thing was annoying. But definitely high rewatchability. So like rewatching is like, oh yeah, no, this is a good, solid movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I said A-. I'm gonna give it an A-. Let me change that to an A-. I think it's a top on the M Night. I'm gonna put it above Sixth Sense personally, because I think Sixth Sense, once you know he sees dead people, the movie's over. Like, I can't even rewatch that film personally.
Yeah, I don't think I know I've rewatched this more than once. Where I don't really think I have.
Yeah,
the other one.
Unbreakable is still the #1 movie he's made. I really liked Old as well. I put this maybe even above Old, because it's a little bit more.
I only saw Devil in theaters and I never saw it again. I kind of want to watch.
He produced that though. He didn't. He only produced.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Devil.
The one in the elevator.
Yeah, I mean, double check me, Jerry, because if you could click on M Night, I'm pretty sure he only produced that. Nick D. I never saw it. I want to see it.
I remember liking it, and then Lady in the Water I liked, but I only saw it.
Lady in the Water. This is gonna be weird because the three of us are here. I remember you watching that, Nick D, and I think I like came home from work or it was too late at night. I came home from something when we all lived in the house, and I remember you were watching it in like the family room or something, and I kind of like came in the room, did my thing, and then left the room. And I kind of like watched it for a second, but you were towards the end, and I remember you like, what the hell is Nick watching? And I don't know. I do clearly remember that, but I remember you watching that at the house.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I want to say you were watching it with DiMaggio, but maybe I'm wrong. It was either him or
Judah or
what's his name? God, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I have a Super Nintendo. Fucking Trent. I think it was you and Trent. I want to say it was you and Trent. Maybe Jerry
you said
too.
DiMaggio. No, because I haven't seen this.
Okay. Then it was just Nick D. Maybe me and you were doing something else, Jerry, and we came home.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie. It's super weird.
I just remember Nick D watching it, and it was at the end with the pool scene, and Paul Giamatto's at the pool, and I was like, what the hell is Nick D watching right now? And I feel like maybe, Jerry, we sat for the very end or something, but I didn't understand anything that was going on.
Yeah, I don't think we knew what was happening. But wow, big cast.
It's weird. It really is like a fairy tale. Like, it's like it has fairy tale logic where you're just like, it's all symbolism. So you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like, this happened because it was raining, and you're like, okay, like I see what he means by that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
It's like a fairy tale.
I'm gonna find that and watch it. I think it's on HBO right now. Actually, I think that and the other one are on there, but maybe I'm tripping. Anyways, you recommend it? Yeah, I'll check it out.
I guess you just rent it from Amazon.
I'll find it at Rasputin for cheaper than that. What was my next one? I'll just knock out House Party, Jerry, if you got that dialed up. I purely watched House Party for Andrew Santino. I kind of wanted to see it at the drive-in originally, and then Santino actually went off on Bad Friends and literally said the movie wasn't good. And I was like, yeah, he had a whole spiel about how he went to the theater and like he put his hood up to leave and stuff because he was almost embarrassed by it. And I get it now. No offense to any of the dudes that are in the movie. I think I've seen one of the originals back in the day. And I don't remember liking the original ones either. Or I was probably very young. This movie is really corny. The cameo, it's chock full of cameos. And the cameos are just bad. I love Lil Wayne, not his skateboarding necessarily, but him as a person, and his rap. He's got a cameo that's for like a second that's just not good. There's a bunch of basketball cameos that are not good, including LeBron, who's not good. Snoop's got a cameo, not good. I could keep going. The big music entertainment for it is Juvenile, which to me felt very dated. Right?
Mhm.
Juvenile is from like when we were kids. Like that's who you got to do the big like rap moment. Kid Cudi is
Yeah.
in the movie, Jerry. I saw you just brush over him. He's actually
Yeah.
pretty funny in it, and he's kind of like the best buddy in it. Or he's the he helps the two dudes out. He's like the celebrity who helps them out. And he's funny
Okay.
in it, but it still didn't work. Like it just didn't. Santino is just like the few scenes you get at Andrew are the highlight. And I watched it purely for those scenes. And I just, it was not a good movie. It's definitely an F, if not maybe a D minus. I'll bump it up just for Santino. And the fact that they had LeBron and a few other cameos like that were kind of like, oh dang, you got him. And even like I'm saying that about Juvenile, but I'm saying that for the movie. Like, how did you get Kid Cudi would have been a better performer than Juvenile. Like those songs are so dated. Like I know those songs, but there's no way the youth was gonna know those songs. Like it just didn't make any sense. Great to see Juvenile still out there doing his thing. You know, good for him. But man, it is a bad movie, and not even like a good bad movie. It's just a bad movie, man.
Yeah.
Here you go, Mark Cuban. Oh, and Odell Beckham Jr. It was another terrible cameo. Like it's just chock full of these bad cameos, dude.
Anthony Davis.
Big Sean, like dude, yeah, Anthony Davis cameo, dude. Yeah, it's just at some point you're like, okay, this movie purely is cameos. You know what I mean? You're just like, dude, what is going on here? Like, it'd be like bad acting to cameo.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, I don't know. I don't know who made the decisions on that, but they kind of dropped the ball. Maybe it was the director too. Maybe somebody else directing with all those same actors could have made it work. It just didn't. And there's not even anything else to talk about. Like, I don't even want to go too far into it. It's just bad.
Isn't this his brother?
Who's?
Oh wow. Donald Glover's.
Oh really? Well, you know, every family can't have all winners in it. I don't know. You know.
And
then who's Cal Maddock, or who's the director?
Okay, so it's the two dudes from. Oh, okay, so they worked together and they wrote it. White Man Can't Jump. What?
White Man Can't Jump 2023, the remake. Ugh. That's going to be bad. I hate to say it, that's going to be bad too. They might want to stop that one before it gets out of line.
A bold choice to like, I'm going to remake
he
a
does
Spike
music.
Lee.
He does music videos.
I see Kendrick Lamar's on there too, yeah.
Bulls, yeah. Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Good for him, but stick to music videos, doggy. Like, this was not it. This was not it, man. So I'm sorry. I wanted to like it, and I honestly wanted more Santino. Oh, is that Little Dicky? Oh, no, that's Jake Holland or whatever. Or Jake Hollow or whatever. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Oh,
Andrew Schultz.
Oh, his name is Jeremy.
Andrew Schultz is funny in small dosages. Sorry, Andrew. I like Andrew when he's like a third person on a podcast, but when it's his podcast, not so much. No offense, dude. Just being real, Nick. You know, gotta keep it real here.
I don't think I've ever seen his podcast. I've seen him on, but yeah.
He's funny on stuff, but when it's his own, he's a little too macho-y and stuff for me. I'm just not into it.
He just popped up in something I was watching. What was he just in?
He
gave a speech?
He was in that movie with Jonah Hill.
That's what it is.
And Eddie Murphy. And he was not good in it. Honestly, he was bad in it, to be honest.
He gave a weird speech in it.
Yeah. He was trying too hard. Personal opinion. Oh, he's going to be in White Man Can't Jump as well? Is that what that is right there?
Wait, yeah, that's what that was. Yeah.
Jack Harlow is playing the Woody Harrelson role. That looks like it's going to be horrific. Just straight up going to say it. If that's who you're placing Woody Harrelson with, that is a horrible idea.
They should have got bigger names.
Like,
is Jack Harlow a singer?
Rapper.
Something.
Yeah, he's a rapper.
Like, he should have got an actor.
He's like Little Dicky, but not ironic. Like, that's the best way to put it, dude. Little Dicky's awesome because he's kind of poking fun of himself, and it works. Jack Harlow is like him being serious.
Yeah,
I mean, the only thing I know of Jack Harlow is I saw that clip on Twitter where he had a bunch of dudes carry him over some mud because he didn't want to get his shoes muddy.
I like that.
That's the only thing I know about him.
I like Little Gravy or Big Gravy or whatever that guy's name is better than Jack Harlow. If we're just doing white rappers,
I don't know. Yeah,
he's funny.
Yeah.
He's a.
I don't know any modern.
Yeah, it's all right, Nick. Don't worry about it. You're not missing much. But we could skip right over it. It's a D minus F type of film. So that's that. We could go. Is my next thing that fact that I watched Bert?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to say about Bert. And I'll openly admit to all this. I watched this because Mark has been traveling with him. Straight up.
Yeah.
I put this on because Mark has been traveling a lot with him. I've kind of been over stand-up for a while now. And I watched Santino's Cheeseburger on Netflix, and I didn't like it. Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've talked about it on here even. And it's hard because you watch podcasts and you really get to know their personalities and stuff, and they're funny in a 2-hour podcast time period. And then when you watch their stand-up, sometimes it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I was a little worried about this kind of being that way. And I'll be honest, Bert, he's coming from a different place than I am. I'm not a big drinker. I'm not a big partier. That's not my vibes. He's a little old school with his mindset and how he sees the world, which I appreciate. But at the same time, that's not who I am either. But I will say I laughed a lot at this one out loud quite a few times. The ending monologue he does, his last story joke he does, is excellent and funny. I don't even want to get into it, but it is really funny.
Is that joke alone
Yes.
worth watching the rest?
100%.
Well, it's only an hour. Yeah.
It's an hour,
Cool, I'll put
hour
that
and
on.
10 maybe. Dude, it got me. It got me good. I was on my phone for a little bit, and I kind of almost like you said about Nobody. I put my phone down, and I was just because I was doing my heligrip work sitting there. I'll just put this on in the background, listen to him make some jokes. I put the phone down, and at some point I was just watching him. Him in his jeans with his Nikes and no shirt on. At first, I was like, this guy's such a buffoon. Like, what are you doing, bro? But then midway through, it was like, this all works. His weird dad vibes that he gives off and making these jokes about his daughter and wife, which is really what the whole thing's kind of about. It is funny. It's a very funny thing. He does a couple things where he kind of talks trash on California life or whatever. And sometimes that kind of bums me out. We all know I'm a very Californian, just in general. I'm proud to be from here. So when you hear these out-of-state people who've moved here after the fact, you're like, yo, dude, that's great that's your opinion, but I grew up here and I love it here. And you also live in SoCal. That's how I feel a lot of times. Like, you live in SoCal, homie. It ain't the same everywhere, But that's just personal stuff, you know what I mean? And he does make a few little jabberoonies that I'm like, okay, dude. But at the same time, man, it works. It was great stand-up special. One of the best, definitely the best one I've seen in quite some time. Straight up, best one I've seen in quite some time. Fantastic. Super jealous of Smalls getting to see him all the time. That's awesome. Mad props.
Yeah.
Shout out to Smalls. He's doing his thing. I'll definitely be checking out that movie. I know me and Nick talked about it the other night. Really excited for that. Yeah, dude. Yeah, check it out, dude. There's not much I want to give away because I could go into the whole story he tells, but there's no need. You guys should just check it out and watch it. I'd give it a B minus. I will say it being short, the hour, you don't get bored, and it's it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's a really good stand-up special.
Nice.
I love Bird. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
Bird.
Nick D.
Yeah.
I listened to Two Bears, One Cave. I actually started the one with had Adam on instead of Tom. I find both of them amusing. They're funny dudes. Him doing the thing and stuff. Yeah, dude. His antics, just the way he does. Yeah, how he moves around and stuff. It works. It's good, dude. Just seeing these little clips that's played in the background. Yeah. You all should check it out. It's fun.
Nice.
I want to. I will.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%.
No, that's it. Yeah. That's I think that's it for me, Jerry. Right? That's the two things.
Yeah.
Oh, three,
rest
including
is,
Signs. Yeah.
Everything that we've seen with Nick at this point.
Is this on Netflix?
Netflix. It's a Netflix special. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think that he's done his last couple with them.
Okay.
I actually put a couple of his other specials in my to watch list purely based off the fact of how much I like this. So
Hell yeah.
maybe I'll come back in a
Nice.
week or whatever and have more to say about Bert.
Yeah.
March
14th.
Would you guys want to? So there's 2 movies that Nick watched that I had previously watched: Smile and Black Phone.
Yeah, Nick D hit him.
What one do you want to do first?
I thought they were both great.
Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do Black Phone first.
Let's just burn through it. We already talked about it. We don't need to hang too much time on it.
Yeah.
Smile, amazing. Where, Jared and I have been saying for years that it's like hard to have a movie that is like good and actually scary. And I'm not gonna lie, Smile got me. Like, I put it on while I was playing Street Fighter, so I wasn't even giving it all of my attention, and it just like sucked me in, and I was getting like a little spooked. There was a couple of times where I was like, "Oh, this is unsettling," and it's a good movie. It's actually like a good movie. Like,
what's the premise?
I would watch. It's basically the same premise as Men, where this woman is seeing stuff that no one else is seeing, and it's supernatural. Like, I'm not even gonna be like, you don't know, is she going crazy or not? Like, no, it's supernatural.
It's a mix of like It Follows. So so all the
Is it
smiles
Satan?
are real. No, they don't. So that's the other thing that I really like. There's no like, I did a quick, and no one's like, I did a quick Google search and found out it's, Pazoo, and like, there's none of that. They're like, we don't know what this is. So she's like a mental health worker, and a woman comes in freaking out and is like, I'm seeing this thing, can't see it. And if you see the person kill themselves, you're now infected. So she saw herself, and so it follows her, who's a mental health worker, and is like, am I losing my mind because I feel guilty that somebody killed themselves in front of me, or is this real? And it's her dealing with that, and it's great. It is so good.
It never explicitly says this, so I'm not like spoiling it, but essentially it's like a demon that like maybe feeds off trauma. So it's like,
yeah, it is. Yeah, I think I'll look that up later.
Like, you have to watch someone kill themselves to get to pass it, but it only does that because you fucked that person up by killing yourself. So it's like, it's like a trauma demon. Like, I think, if you wanted to get all academic about it, it's probably like a metaphor for PTSD, and like how that affects the people in your life if you're all fucked up,
But it's so much better than Babadook. I don't get, people love Babadook.
Yeah,
that movie.
I agree.
I hated that movie, which is just about grief. Babadook is a movie about grief, but they just did it so bad. Where the PTSD thing is like, oh, I didn't pick up on that, but like, that's fantastic, and they did this great.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's it. You guys are selling me on it. I'll be real. I remember seeing the trailer for this. I thought it looked like shit.
Dude, same thing. I was like, that looks
just
stupid.
being real.
I had no.
Yeah.
So Jerry saw it, and Jerry was dude, and I was like, oh, all right, jump to the top of the list.
It is good.
And what's the running time on it?
Like an hour 45.
90.
Okay, that's not bad.
Like,
see, that's got me
2 hours.
Okay.
But it's quick. The pacing is good.
Pacing's good. Okay.
Yeah, the
pacing is good
because the pacing is like her losing her mind. So it's actually like scene. Like, it just keeps moving. You never really sit anywhere, and because it's kind of frantic, you feel like you're going crazy with it.
So what do you rate it, Nick?
I give it an A. Like, I would watch it again if I like. The director said that he's like open to a sequel, but there probably won't be one. But it is one of those things, and most horror movies you don't want to see a second one. I would say it's like, oh, I'd go back for another for this. I liked it. I liked it.
Cool.
Yeah. And then same thing with Black Phone. Just to move right into it, I thought Black Phone was great. The only real thing I'll get into with Black Phone, we were talking about New Mutants not too long ago. That's what New Mutants should have been. Like, you want to talk about a horror movie that is actually unsettling and creepy, but still has the tropes of, like, kids being heroic. It's like, this is what the New Mutants should have been. Because it's not, like, New Mutants is, like, 70% superhero, 30% horror. This is, like, 80% horror, 20% kids with powers. And then they never explain, why do these kids have powers? other than they had a spooky mom. They had a mom that apparently had some kind of power. And again, like that's not spoiling anything. Like what I mean by power is the phone. Like if you were to be like, oh yeah, dude, this is an X-Men thing. Like that's Telephone Boy from the 70s. I'd be like, oh shit. Like you know what I mean? Like this feels like an X-Men movie, but it's a horror movie. So yeah, definitely see it. It's amazing. What's his name? Bacon. Oh my god. Is that Kevin Bacon?
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
The trailer
Ethan
for this
Hawke.
was awesome.
Dude, Ethan crushes it in this movie.
From everything you're explaining to me too, though, dude, it kind of sounds like Doctor Sleep.
Yeah.
Where kid has powers and all that.
You know what it is? It's the middle movie between The Shining and Doctor Sleep. Danny's like now 15. It's like it's like the middle movie. You know what I mean?
And
like,
he's one of the nightmare chasers or whatever.
Yeah. Again, I won't go into anything, but yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
Yeah. You're
it's
selling me on this one. You're selling me on this one, though, Nick. I like everything you're saying.
I think you'd be into it.
The trailer looked awesome.
It's cool, but I would say, like I said earlier, if you're gonna only watch one, I would watch Smile.
Okay.
But
I agree.
This one is
if you're
cool.
like, I've only got time for one horror movie, yeah, I'd watch.
Okay.
And so yeah, again, this one is the
I've
140.
only got time for like a superhero movie. Watch Black.
This sounds like
Nick,
it's more
I don't
my
know.
alley.
Nope. Nick is
No
Nick is
superheroes?
hard. No, it's like the kid uses the phone to talk to dead kids. They tell you on the train. It's a like
And
there's no. It's not a power thing.
See, that sounds like
Yeah.
Doctor Sleep in a way. You guys, I don't know if you remember that one, but that sounds like a lot.
I watched Doctor Sleep.
No,
6 months
this
ago.
is just your classic.
'Cause she
kid
talks
gets
to-
kidnapped.
She's also talking to dead people as well. So is Danny. Danny and her are both talking to the dead dude from The Shining.
Yeah.
What's
I
his
don't
name?
remember what the side story is.
Interesting. I this one sounds really interesting to me. More
It is.
interesting.
Dude.
Yeah.
His mask is modular, and it depends on like how he feels. Like sometimes it's a full mask with a frown. Sometimes it's got the devil horn. Sometimes you can see his eyes. Sometimes it's a big smile. Like the mask is so sick. And so like as a supervillain, you're like, oh my god, this guy's the best. Be an X villain. Like it's great.
So I will retract some of my statement. I do now remember about the little girl and like ooh, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
But it's still not a superhero thing. Makes it hard selling.
And then, you know when the little girl's driving down the bike, and I get to spoiler.
No, go for it.
She's
Go for it.
driving down the road, and then there's the lineup of the ghosts. All the ghosts pop up in the street all of a sudden. I was like, that's the team. That's the fucking X-Men, right? They're even standing like X. You know what I mean? Like it's so funny that they're like, you can tell when they were making this movie, they're like, we need a little bit of Stranger Things and we need a little bit of Pennywise. Like this is a movie about kids dealing with a creeper, but it's also a ghost movie. And like it has that like Stand By Me, Pennywise, Stranger Things. And me, because I'm a comic nerd, I went to New
Sinister.
Mutants, but yeah.
And Doctor Strange, man.
But like thinking about it, it's like, oh, this really did feel similar to Sinister, and it's like, oh, I see why now.
Yeah, you're right. It feels like a Sinister movie. You're totally. And is Ethan Hawke in that, or is that?
He did
that is Ethan Hawke. He's in the first one.
He did VHS.
Yeah.
One of them. I don't think
I didn't like those. I watched the first one. I didn't like it. Throw it out there.
I watched the first.
I've always meant to watch them, but I haven't.
I don't even know if I
They're
finished
anthology,
it. Yeah.
And so it's like, I think each movie has one segment that's the strongest, and it may not even be the good one. And the first one is the last one, right? With like the monks or something. Oh, if you didn't finish it.
To be honest, dude, maybe I even did. I kind of think I zoned it out. I think I was on my phone and just didn't care. To be honest, anthology movies like that are hard to watch.
They are.
Yeah.
And those aren't always that strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Black Phone. That's a cool movie.
Yeah. No. When the trailers came out, I wanted to watch that. You watching it definitely. I'll put that on my list.
This is the movie I was telling you about. I meant to watch Knock at the Cabin the other day, and I couldn't because it wasn't free, and so I just put that on. I was like, oh, Black Phone is free. I'll watch that.
Yeah.
And it was a great substance. Like I was like, oh, I enjoy. Same thing. I was playing Street Fighter, got pulled into it.
Which one did you like more? You like Smile better?
I mean, I like them both equally. Both of them are A's for me. Smile's a better horror movie. Like Black Phone, from the beginning. You like I don't mean to spoil it, but it's like this kid's gonna win. Like it's just that kind of movie.
Ah,
With Smile, I'm not gonna like Smile
yeah,
from the jump. Like I don't know how this. You know what I mean? Like I don't know where this
barbarian style.
Exactly. Black Phone, Black Phone feels like Sinister immediately. So as soon as you start Sinister, you're like, I bet one of two things happen.
Yeah.
Black Phone's kind of the same thing. You're like, it's either this is gonna happen or this is gonna happen, and you're probably right. I bet you'll see exactly where this goes. Having said that, it doesn't make it any less cool.
No, and I love a mask. Nick, you saw me with the mask talk. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, the masks are cool, and then like I think later in the film, again, not spoilers, but like he gets blood on it, and it's like, oh, looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it was in the trailer. They showed that in a second ago. Yeah.
So in the trailer, like Jared, when he's sitting in the kitchen, he doesn't even say anything. There's just this one shot of him chilling in the kitchen with the mask on, and you're like, dude, that's like, and again, there's supernatural stuff in the movie, but he's just a guy. He's just a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that it's both real world scary and spooky scary. It balances it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were both cool. Both worth checking out.
Them.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I don't know how I ended up back on Smile. Do you guys want to talk about Scream or 65?
Let's hit Scream because we're in the horror movie genre right now. You know?
I liked it.
I'm a huge Scream fan. It's my favorite franchise. I have the box set of the original 3. That matters a lot to me because I remember getting it. I think we all lived together when I got that box set. I was so stoked to get that box set because that was like after they'd all come out. And it was like the dead period of Scream. Scream 1 means a lot to me. I don't know why. That was like one of my first horror films.
That was my favorite movie for years.
Yeah.
I love
Scream 1 is just they're not the tradition. They're slasher films. They're not horror films. I think people need to realize that it's a subgenre of horror. It's kind of it's a murder mystery horror film, but leaning more in the more murder mystery. Just it's very graphic and gory. I will say off tops, this misses on some of the fun kills. That sounds so horrible, but you guys know what I mean. The original movie, she tries to climb out the doggy door on the garage. She gets caught up. Boom. The intro in the original one is so classic. They missed out on a few of these. And, them taking it to New York, I thought they were going to lean more into that, even with the train scene. And I'm sorry, Jerry, I'm going to do a little bit of spoiling. You would think that they would do like this big epic train scene murder, and it's just like she gets stabbed while everyone's getting off the train. It's so right, Nick. It's like so basic, bitch. It's like really, that's like it.
And a little too real.
Kinda. I mean, maybe for you, Jerry, because you live in New York, but like other than the train scene, and there's one at the liquor store or whatever you guys call that in New York. I'm just gonna call it a liquor store. That's what it is.
Bodega.
Yeah, bodega. Other than that, am I wrong, Nick, that it just like it could have been at any college setting? Any college.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's like that, like, because it's Scream 2 all over again.
They don't even, when I heard Scream was going to be in New York, I was like, oh, it's going to take place in like skyrise and shit.
Yeah.
She just lives around, so it's still just like a house, like, but not like a Scream house. It's just like a house with very thin hallways, and like it's not.
Courtney Cox is in a skyrise though.
Yeah, what's up?
Courtney Cox is in a skyrise.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But they don't utilize it. It could have been any house. Once again, it could have been any house.
It's like they're in a park, they're in a house, they're in the subway. Like, and it's really only the subway that you're like, oh, we're in New York.
They're at a frat party.
Oh yeah, yeah. It doesn't really feel like New York. So
the liquor store, like even the running, like the intro kind of was a little New York where she talks. They do the classic intro, Jerry. Oh, this time there is a little bit of a twist. I won't go super into it. And they take them into like a weird cross street. What do you call that? Like what?
Say, Nick?
Alley.
Allie.
An alley. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick. And that felt a little New York. You know what I mean? But I also thought the Ninja Turtles could have showed up at any minute. like what is this? Like,
yeah. Or Batman. Yeah,
or Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, that alley does feel very New York.
Yeah. You know, I don't.
And that first girl, this has nothing to do with anything, but like, you know, I've been watching The Evil Dead. That first girl is in season 1 of Evil Dead, and I was like, oh, I know that actress just from that Australian actress.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, dude, I liked it. I really did, but I liked it because it's a Scream film, and seeing Ghostface, or GF as they text in this, GF, which is funny. And you know, like the whole like the characters, the legacy characters, and how the twins are related to Jamie Kennedy. It worked better in the last one. This one, it's like, all right, yeah, we get it. You're related to Jamie Kennedy. Like, no need to drop it again. Yeah. I
forgot the thing till they brought it.
I mean, it's cool. I think once you know who the killers are, it kind of is like, okay, yeah, I guess that's what we're doing in this one. Like, it's very like 2. It's straight up 2. So much so, Jerry, that it ends. 2 ends in the drama room at the college. 6 ends in the an abandoned movie theater, which is kind of the same shape and layout as the drama room.
Yeah.
So I mean,
remember that.
It has a little bit of like this legacy overlap, which I did enjoy. I'm sure I'm going to say this part. The bullshit, in my opinion, is that most of the kids were killed in Woodsboro, right?
Yeah.
They have collected all of the murder scene stuff and have it on display. That seems so crazy if it was one police department. Yeah, if it's one police department that had a majority of the collection for the, and they try to brush it off like, oh, you know, cops, they got to sell stuff sometimes. And it's like, yeah, but that would be the same police department selling a lot of stuff of cops that they knew, like Dewey memorabilia. Like, come on. Like, I don't know.
It's not like it's like, oh, dude, I got a book from the Scream. It's like, I got the fucking knife.
Yeah, and the outfits.
Yeah, it's like so you like had to pay the police chief for this. Is what you're saying? Like, this is
the feds.
This is more than memorabilia. This is like evidence.
The feds,
you know what
like
I mean?
The straight up feds would have that. Like, no way.
Yeah.
And then they took the girl from 4 and made her a federal agent. She's on it's the blonde chick underneath Wednesday.
Panettiere.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's awesome. I hope they make more. I recommend watching it so that we get more, Jerry. That would be my thing, is watch it because, you know, I want them to still make them. I think the big bummer in this one, and maybe, I don't know if Nick D's going to agree with me or not, is no Nev Campbell even cameo kind of does the movie injustice.
Oh, yeah. I thought she was going to pop up.
I did as well, Jerry. So much so. And what was that, Nick?
Like, I'm very curious if she's done, or do you think that in Scream 7, they're like, we'll double what we offered, come back for 5 minutes? Like, do you think she returns, or do you think it's like, no, she's out?
I wonder if this is a Bayonetta scenario where it's like, look, we only want you to do a couple scenes. They're very small. You're kind of being a brat about the amount of money you're willing to take. It's only a couple scenes. Or I wonder how it all panned out like that. You know, that's my main question. How much do they want her to do? And was it worth her doing it? She doesn't really do movies that often. So it's like, come on, like...
Yeah.
I thought she was going to be in it, Jerry, because I had looked up something and her name was on some cast list that I saw. I swear it was IMDb. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't think she's there now. So I was convinced, even at the end, that she was popping up as either Ghostface or to save. Like, I thought, oh, you know, they're about to die. Nev's going to pop up and shoot these fools. You know, that's what that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't happen. So it's not a spoiler alert, I guess. And if you go to the internet, like Nick D just said, she was all upset about not being paid enough. It's been in the tabloids. She didn't get paid enough. She didn't do it. They make a reference to her. Courtney Cox does.
And that reference, they do kind of make it seem like she is like that reference where it is like, doesn't she deserve a break or whatever it is. It is almost them kind of saying like she might not, it's very open ended. Like it's like Gail has acknowledged that she's not here. Who knows though?
Nah, I could see him bringing her back.
I hope they do.
I don't want to get into spoilers, but I actually think there's a very key reason, and I think it'll be in future movies. I don't even know if it'll be 7, but like where I think the franchise is going to go, I think she'll be back.
I'll straight up say it, Nick. I don't care, and I don't think it's a spoiler because it's just us theorizing. The theory would be that she's the mother of the two, right? Is that what you're kind of pitching, or no?
No, but that makes sense.
I think that could be a theory, but at the same time, it doesn't make much sense because how would and I'm not saying Nick just said that's not his theory, but my theory doesn't work because they've already said Billy was what's her name's the one girl on the far the top right. I forget her name. Sam.
Sam.
Said it was. I'm gonna call the other girl Wednesday. I don't care. Sam is the half sister to Wednesday. Sam's father is supposed to be Billy. Billy was dating a girl before he started dating Neve Campbell in the original movie, and I think they make that known in the original film. And what we didn't know is that he impregnated that first girlfriend before he died, clearly, because he dies by Neve. So I don't think it would make sense for them to try to make Neve Campbell the mother of the both of them. I could also see them making Neve Campbell Ghostface. I personally hope they don't. I like Neve Campbell, so why make her the bad guy? That's my personal thing. I kind of think it would ruin the other films in a way. Not ruin them, but like take away from them.
So cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, to then be like, oh, she went crazy from all that. It would be just like, oh my god. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't be terribly into that either.
But they're also.
That's what,
No, go ahead, Nick. Nick, go ahead.
But that's why because I think you're right. And again, this isn't a spoiler. I'm talking about future movies. Like I think Sam is going to be a ghost. And I think her little sister is going to have to stop her. And then I think at the end of that movie, she's going to be like, the only way to kill a ghost face we get. And Neve comes back. And that way they can pay Neve for 15 minutes.
I also think
that he's going to have to kill the latest ghost face.
But they're also hinting at the fact that Ghostface is typically two people. Right?
Yeah.
It's been one person, and it's been multiple people this whole time. But it's only been one person once, if I'm not mistaken. So
the third one, yeah.
The third one, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, Wednesday and Sam could easily become Ghostfaces together, Nick, and then they're going after, they're trying to do what Billy never got the job done. They're going to go after Neve Campbell. I hope that's not where it goes, too, because it's like, that's a little corny too, you know. I don't know. It's hard, and it's hard to say too because I actually honestly was caught off guard by the end of this. They did a couple things that they have done in the past, but it got me good. The movie altogether is great. I just thought that there could have been a couple funner kills. That sounds so horrible, but you know what I mean. Just more comical style of kills. And I wish that they would have said, "Got you like a fish." I just love that line from the first one. I just always thought that was the most comical line and stuff. Guns being utilized a lot in this one too, a little corny. And looking back on it, there's a few scenes that kind of give away some stuff when you're watching it, Jared. If you'll catch a few things, if you do, you might not. Then when I reflect on it after the fact, I was like, oh, that was right in front of me. And I won't say what they are, but
I looked it up. I know who 2 of the killers are.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well.
And I always feel like that's actually the least important part. Because the thing with Scream though is that they're never real mysteries. There's no way you can actually figure out who Ghostface is. Like you can guess and be like, I think it's that guy, but you'll never guess the reason why.
Again, looking at the poster, it's like, well, I know the killer's on here, and I guessed one. Just like you said, it was just a random guess.
Exactly.
There was nothing that influenced it. Yeah. And again, like you said, I won't know why. And then then looking at cast was like, oh, okay. And then I see who. Yeah. Again.
Well, technically, there is 2 groups of ghost faces. So there's hella killers on that poster.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Yeah, so
There's a,
I will say that too to throw you off a little bit, Jerry. But there is a bunch of killers on that poster, and that kind of
Yeah.
that throws you for a little bit of a spin.
I do appreciate that they are kind of like, okay, we're at movie 6. We should be doing, let's do something different. And I will say, I don't hate it. I don't hate
Yeah.
it. Like I saw 5. I was like, ugh, I don't know what 6 is going to be. I hope it's good. After seeing 6, it's like, okay, I'm ready for 7. I want to see 7.
And I'd say the same where I hated 4. I hated the
I
end
liked
of 4
4.
where she like trashes herself. I hated that. But then
Where she
scene
kills the
5,
other dude.
yeah, I hated it.
The-
I hated
from
that,
Signs.
that last scene. Hated
Really?
That last, yeah. I do not like the end of 4. But then scene 5 was like, okay, that wasn't bad. To where it's like, oh, I'll watch 6 when it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 was the one for me that was just like, oh, I do not like what you did here.
I like
And then
4 better than the
5
last
was
2.
like, okay.
I like
Maybe we
Emma
should go back,
Roberts. I like
rewatch
Emma
4.
Roberts. I just like her as an actress and person. So
Yeah, I hated
Yeah.
that scene so much.
yeah, dude, when
My
she
God, I
when she
hated that
jumps
scene.
when she jumps through the table.
Yeah, really,
I
it really
love that
was the
scene.
for me. That was the nail in the coffin of just like too much.
It's the
I
whole
hate
the
this.
stabbing each other in the first one.
Yeah, she really committed.
Yeah.
She really committed.
I think 5 was better than 6 only because if I'm not mistaken, 5 ends at the same house as 1, right? They're back at that house, the main house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And-
they buy it or whatever.
No,
Yeah.
it's are they
The whatever person's family, the girl's family, just moved to the town and bought the house. Then she's throwing the party or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yes, it is. It is
Yeah.
the original house.
house, yeah. I don't know. That 5 holds a place at me because it's at least they're back in the town and they're back like it's a lot
Yeah.
of it's a lot of legacy points. A lot of legacy points.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good, Jerry. It's 100% worth checking out. I would give it a B
Yeah, I
minus,
will.
C plus. Probably leaning a little bit more towards C plus, but because it's Scream, I bump it up to. Well, the minute I see Ghostface, I'm like, all right, B. B minus.
Yeah, Ghost. I love the old weathered mask.
Yeah, the mask, the whole mask. The mask is very important in this one, especially, and in the train scene where there's a ton of mask and stuff. As much as the kill itself or the stab itself, or whatever, like was a little underwhelming. The build up to it, that's kind of what it almost bummed me out. Like, oh, you're just gonna do one little stab, but like the build up to it is very like, oh shit, there's hella ghost face. Like, which one's the ghost face? And like it gets you a little bit, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I've seen them all.
yeah.
Jerry, can you really quick while we're wrapping up Scream? Can you look up just type in Scream voice changer actor? Is it the same guy from 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Oh, that voice is so good.
So only Courtney and the voice are the only ones who have been in all 6, and this is the first movie that they actually talk to each other. Because in the second one, when he calls Courtney,
Oh, yeah.
Randy
They say
picks
that.
up
They
the
say
phone
that.
call.
They say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghostface even says it's like, I'm surprised this is the first time we're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, same guy.
Which seems
Same voice.
to look
Is
back
he,
on.
is he in it now?
To look back
What?
on, Nick, how the fuck would they have known that? How would the new killers know that Ghostface never talked to Courtney? No, I guess Courtney's books. I guess Courtney's books.
They must have read all the books. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's literally all he does. He just does Scream. Oh no, 260. He does.
He's a voice actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Call of
Mass
Duty Black
Effect, Call of
Ops.
Duty,
Yeah.
Wars. Dude, he's Ghost. Oh, he's Ghostface. Great.
Oh, that makes sense.
Dude, he's Mojo Jojo. That's Mojo Jojo from the Power.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Red Dead
Amazing.
Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2, Nick.
Oh, that's a local pedestrian.
Does that say
Right on. Yeah,
Does
he's
that
got
say
such an icon-
fucking does that say fucking Minecraft? Am I tripping?
Oh yeah, he's on
Minecraft.
Wow.
Story mode season 2. Additional voices.
Crazy.
A lot of looks like a lot of games, and then a lot of
Right on. He's got a great voice.
Yeah, he's got
Amazing voice.
iconic. The voice, the mask, they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Sims. I saw Sims Pets. Yeah.
Final Fantasy
Roger
2.
Jackson.
Right on. Roger Jackson holding it down.
Yeah, Roger Jackson. 65.
65.
65 is a lie. The trailers are
Yeah.
a fucking lie, man. I'm sorry to drop an
Yeah.
F-bomb, but they're a fucking lie, man.
Adam Driver.
Honk. But see, even that poster, and I'm sure Nick D's gonna agree with me. That poster is a fucking lie, dude. The little girl should be standing next to him. The whole movie is him and a little girl. It's straight up The Last of Us. I'm sure the reason they didn't want to show the little girl was because it was too similar to Last of Us, and Last of Us had just come out, and it's too popular. And they were like, okay, we can't. Maybe I'm reading into this. I don't know. But they were like,
No,
okay.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And dude, I thought it was going to be a different movie than what we got.
Yeah, the trailer, it's him alone, you know?
Yeah. And it's not a bad movie, but it's kind of a bummer that you're like, man, this isn't what I want to see. Like, it's not bad. It's good. But yeah, it's like, I'm like, I wanted John Wick versus dinosaurs.
Yeah. That, and like, I wanted it to be, I don't know. It feels like a movie from 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It does. It just feels like something from a while back ago. And if it came out then, I might have liked it more. It just, I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh on it. It just wasn't what I expected. I went in there with too big of hopes. And when we left, I was like, that was it? Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that, Jerry. I don't know what. Just to let you know, I heard that.
I don't know why that happened. All right.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
we
It's
did
fine.
that.
Yeah, it was for like 2 seconds.
Yes, the original.
I don't know how you felt, Nick, but I just kind of was disappointed by the end loosely. And the ending gets real like, you got to be kidding me. Like, the little girl 100% should have died. And I'm not just, I mean, I get it's a movie, but dude, like, it's so far-fetched of like, what? Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely, like, I think I watched the last episode of The Last of Us, like, either the night before we went and saw this or 2 nights before. And, like, the whole movie, I just kept thinking, like, man, this is just more of that. And again, not like in a bad way, but it is just kind of like, oh, man.
The road.
Yeah, it's the road. Yeah, exactly. It's fucking Mando and Grogu. Like, it's you know, like, she doesn't speak English, so he has to say silly things to get her to drink water, and, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And placement.
And I feel like I could see this movie being a big hit, and that's cool. But again, it's just not what I thought it was going to be. Again, Adam Driver crushed it. Adam Driver did a
he's
great
great.
job.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's A+.
Yeah.
The ending, though, Nick, the spoilers, Jerry, you know, it's dinosaurs, and then they do the build up to like, oh, you know, this is when a meteor hits Earth and kills all the or comet hits Earth and it kills all the dinosaurs. Coincidentally, the comet hits exactly where his spaceship hit. Exactly where his spaceship hit, pretty much. Dude, the Earth spins. There's so many different things in play. The chances of his spaceship hitting exactly also where the asteroid's going to hit seems so crazy, just ridiculous in my mind. I'm not... The asteroid could have hit anywhere else. It could have hit like 5-10 miles in his vision, but it literally starts falling right where he is. And it's like, dude, come on. Like, really?
And again, not to be like a science nerd, but it's like, I thought they thought that the world-killing comet landed in Antarctica, not California, not
Yellowstone?
Stuff. So it is just kind of like, I'm like, this isn't even where the comet would be, right? Like, I thought it was like on the ice.
It hit in Mexico. No, it hit in Mexico.
It hit in Mexico. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Can you see Mexico from Yellowstone? Like,
No.
if you're up high, can you see that far south?
Nick,
Well,
also,
so
I said
I
Yellowstone.
will say I don't know. Well, yeah, no, go on.
Well, I said that it was Yellowstone, Jerry, because it looks like they're at the Old Faithful. It's a geyser, and it has a lot of Yellowstone vibes to it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, Nick. Just to clarify, because I don't want you thinking. I don't know. Like, I just threw that out at you when we were leaving the theater. Like, was that Yellowstone? Like, what was that?
I think you're right. I also, just going back to geysers and stuff, I thought it was cool to see a tar pit. As soon as I saw that, I think I turned to you and I was like, "There's tar pits?" Like, and it's like, oh, 65 million years ago. Okay.
Well, there's the hot mud pits and all that in Yellowstone. It's crazy. You really should go to Yellowstone. Everyone should go once. It really is a beautiful. it is like you're going back to that time period, and instead of dinosaurs, you're seeing buffalo and bears. But like it is pretty crazy. But yeah, like the geyser Jerry is a key element of the whole entire movie, and it's like the thing about a geyser is you can't get that close to it. Period. And the water that sprays off it will just burn us up super gnarly, from my understanding. So it's like the ending sequence, that little girl is way too close to it. Like she for sure would have been fried.
Field geysers, yeah. Like it's not even one geyser. It's like a whole. It's like a landmine field of geysers. She would have been cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what's going on here. And
you think even that T-Rex would be like, no, I'm not going over. It's not worth going over. Like.
And I get that they've decided that dinosaurs look different than what we grew up with, but I like the dinosaurs we grew up with better than the new ones. Just saying.
I feel like they made like a choice, because I went back and I was thinking about it. So I was looking at some of the dinosaurs. They do almost make them look like alien and misshapen. It is weird that it's like, it seems like such a choice that I'm like, why would you make the T-Rex look like that? Like they don't look like that. But I wonder if they did that just to kind of make them look more science fiction.
Well, I think they have now said that dinosaurs look a lot different than what we grew up with.
Yeah, like the whole like closer to birds, more feathers and colors.
And the T-Rex is more close to a lizard. It almost looks like a Komodo dragon. Yeah. It's like a really, really big Komodo dragon.
I was going to say, like, the raptors in this movie are basically just big Komodo dragons that can kind of get up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you're right.
A lot of them was like Komodo dragon. Yeah, it's very Komodo dragon-esque vibes and stuff going on. So, which is cool-ish, but at the same time, I'm just so connected to the original Jurassic Park and stuff that I'm like, I want them to look like that, not like this.
Yeah, it is a tough thing where, that was Spielberg, right?
Yeah.
He was like, nope, this is what humans are forever going to think of what dinosaurs look like. My doing. And we have.
Yeah.
Where it is interesting that it's like, okay, I can get it, that it's like, yeah, very crocodile, lizard-like.
Yeah.
But yeah, to change it and to do something different that is also like, I don't know, nothing we've seen in fossils yet, that it's like, what are you doing if this is supposed to be Earth and dinosaurs? Like, we have the fucking bones.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, the bird stuff and like the feathers, they do a lot of that, Jerry, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense because we wouldn't know about feathers and like wings and how, like that kind of stuff. There is no bone, so I can dig all that, like theories and stuff. But yeah, like, and it does make sense for these animals to crawl on all four more than it did for them to be running on two with the small arms that make no sense. So I dig it, but at the same time, it's just our generation.
Not what you wanted.
Well, and we're just how we grew up as kids and stuff. It just doesn't add up. You're like, no, it's just
what's the same for us.
And they only run into like one semi-friendly dinosaur. Like
there's literally one plant eater dinosaur in the whole movie. Every dinosaur they come across are.
Yeah, they only come across like four different dinosaurs. They come across one style of dinosaur twice, and these guys twice. So there's two different dinosaurs they run into twice, and actually they see the T-Rex from a mountainside too, or what we'll call the T-Rex. So they technically see the T-Rex even twice, and we only see the one little. We don't even know if it was a plant-eater dinosaur, Nick, because all we know is that it was stuck in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
And they kind of help it out, right? I give this movie a C-D+. Straight up. That's what I'm going to give it. And we can just move on by. Like, that's it. That's all I got to say about it.
Yeah.
If it's on HBO Max, Jerry, and you want to slap it on in the background, go for it. But, like, if you don't, I wouldn't feel bad. Wait, Sam Raimi directed this?
No.
Is that not Sam Raimi joins us?
That does say.
Joins the writers. Did he direct this? He must have produced.
Yeah, I don't think he directed this. I'd be surprised.
He did not feel like Sam Raimi at.
No.
There is no Raimi.
No, he didn't direct it.
He would have made it cornier, but it might have been more fun to watch.
100%.
Casting. Yeah. He didn't write or direct it. He produced it.
Okay, that makes sense.
1 of 10.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Jerry, if it's on, what are you gonna rate it, Nick? What are you gonna give it?
I mean, I'll give it a C, just because, like, I think. I mean, there's no sequels. It has a definitive end, and so I think if they would have left it open for a sequel, I would I'll check it out. I'll see another one, but they don't even do that. Like, it's like this series is done, and so I'm like, all right, I probably don't need to watch it. So C. If it was left up to maybe there's more coming, maybe I would have watched it. I don't think I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And again, not that it's bad. It's just not what I was sold.
Yeah.
I like One and Done, so I might watch it for that reason.
Yeah, it's definitely worth putting on. I love the gun. It reminds me of the gun that Joey in Lost in Space. Like,
Aliens. It has an alien vibe too.
It's
Like
aliens. The ship's vibes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Adam Driver's. Even the little girl's great. Like, I don't mean to say.
No, yeah,
she's
she's fantastic in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll also throw out at you right before we switch off of it, which we totally can. He speaks English and she speaks some alien language. Come on, dude. How, like, I get that he needs to speak English for the movie to be palatable, but at the same time, what the fuck?
It also just seems weird that it is just like why? Why can't they both speak the language? Like,
or she
it's
speaks
not
Spanish.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like such a weird choice that, like, let's have our two leads not be able to.
Yeah.
Oh, he's an alien.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why is he speaking English?
Because we need to understand him. He's our lead.
I know.
So if anything, I would think it's he's speaking a different language. She's speaking English. Doesn't or not? Why would Earth only speak English?
I think it's really interesting that dinosaur. He is an alien and looks human and speaks English, and the dinosaurs are from Earth but look like it. It's just like an interesting thematic kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's a really good point, Nick. That's a really good point.
It's just that just hit me that it's like weird.
And Jerry, we won't even get into it. There is a whole storyline about something that has happened on his home planet. I'll leave you to watch that. It really has it has a little bit of an emotional pull, but it doesn't really fucking matter.
Take that scene out, he's not an. You take that scene out, he's an astronaut. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's where the meteor hit.
Oh wow.
Oh wow! Holy shit. The Gulf of Mexico? Oh, I see. I was like, it made the Gulf. I see what you're.
Yeah, no, it in the water. So do you want to? So there's only one movie you guys watched together the other day, or Nick can talk about the two X-Men things.
Let's knock out the X-Men.
I mean, I don't really need to talk about Dark Phoenix. Like, I just watched it to watch it.
Which one?
The Dark Phoenix one. Like, I'll say it's bad. It's a bad movie, but it was better than I expected. Like, everyone told me it was a turd.
Yeah,
and it's a turd.
It's a turd. The ending train sequence is so bad, bro.
Dude, and like I feel like everything with Magneto, I was like, dude, fucking wasted Fassbender. Like, everything with Magneto pissed me off.
Jennifer Lawrence being killed in the first few minutes of the movie, smartest decision she ever made.
Exactly. She was like, I'm sure she read that script and she was like, no, kill me 5 pages.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to be in this movie. Get me out now.
Yeah. I loved the suits. I think the
suits were cool.
Is great. Yeah, like, it just doesn't, like, I think it's like, I don't blame, dude, really, this is the real, we can move on. I don't need to talk about this. The only thing I will say, Jessica Chastain is the star of the show. The whole, like, alien part of this movie is the best part. And then lastly, the last thing I'll say, Hans Zimmer's score is amazing. When Jean Grey's absorbing the Phoenix in space, the crazy, like, synth tech bass line that plays underneath is so sick. Amazing score. I wish this movie was better than it was.
What is this on?
Is really Say that again?
What's it on?
What was it on?
Disney Plus.
Makes sense.
And like, this is really the last thing I'll say. I really hope that when X-Men is rebooted, I'm like, I'm like, give us new shit. I don't want Apocalypse. I don't want Dark Phoenix. Like, there's so much shit to pull from. Don't do this bullshit again. Now, moving on to the other one, this one, you guys should both watch this. It's just a documentary of an old man talking about his time in the 80s, but it's him talking about writing and, like, not creating the X-Men, but taking a thing that Stan Lee created and making it his own. And he talks about how, like, precious he was about it. Like, they kept being like, dude, X-Men is flying off the shelves. We're going to do a spin-off book. And we're going to give it to someone. And he's like, no, I'm going to write the spin-off. He had such control over the X-Men in the 80s that everything you know about the X-Men came from him. And it's like it's like an hour and 10 minutes or something. I think
What's it on?
Worth Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And it's like I really recommend it. It's just nerdy shit. You know, he talks about just how, like, just shit he was into, and that turned into the X-Men story.
Yeah.
And then, like, people were like, they'll, like, interview famous writers now, and they'll be like, a couple of them are women, and they're like, oh yeah, his run in the 80s made me realize that, like, as a woman, I could do whatever I wanted. Like, I could be in comics, I could go be a writer, I could do, and because of characters like Storm and Jean Grey, like, yeah, dude, Chris Claremont's X-Men, it's great. You could just tell he really loved the franchise and was, like, hurt when he doesn't throw shade, but he definitely, you could tell he doesn't like Jim Lee. And when Jim Lee got there in the 90s, everything to, like, the yellow and blue, you could just tell he's like, well, and then that's that whole thing. But, like, yeah, you could tell he's like, dude, I hate all that bullshit. My X-Men is better.
Hmm.
And I disagree in the sense that I love Jim Lee's X-Men. But
I wasn't going to say it, but yeah.
Really, yeah, it's really interesting.
But Jim Lee also made him crazily muscled, and not him necessarily, but like.
But yeah. He changed the look. And when Jim Lee got there, they're like, you could tell Marvel was like, this guy's a great talent. Let's give him over to the design thing. And I think Chris was more like, you know, I'm trying to tell, like, weird stories. The art needs to be good, but, like, the stories, the characters are what's important, not the visuals. And I think, you know, it's just a change in Marvel. Like, I think at that point, Stan Lee was like, X-Men is selling. Like, crank this shit out.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to check this out. Yeah, you told me about this the other day, Nick. I definitely need to check it out.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. It seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's an amazing background. Like I said, it's literally just an old man talking. You don't need to be watching. Yeah, just put it on the background.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that's him right.
It's hard, and I'm not even going to ask you to rate it, Nick, because it's a documentary. Like, you can't really rate documentaries.
And it's a documentary on something I love, so I'd say 10, just because it's
S tier.
You're going right to the horse's mouth. Like, it's like, he's like, this is what I was thinking when I wrote this issue. Like,
that's cool. That's cool. I'll definitely have to check that out. It looks fun.
Yeah.
Is Jim Lee in it?
They show footage of him and pictures of him, but they don't ever talk to him. Yeah, they don't ever. And obviously neither it's Chris Claremont's team. So it's his editor, his writing partner, and the artists he worked with. And it's actually two of his editors. One of his editors that he, like, the original editor was like, when you kill Jean Grey, she's never coming back, I promise you. And then years later, he's like, we're bringing Jean Grey back. You can tell Chris was pissed. He's like, you promised me you wouldn't do comic book bullshit. Like, you'd let me tell my story. But then again, you hear that Stan Lee's like, dude, this is selling. Bring fucking Jean Grey back. What are you talking about? Like, you know, the classic, the money's more important than the art thing. And he was like, I'm about the art. I don't give a shit about the money.
Yeah.
But
I've been there, done that. Been there, done that.
Yeah. But you could tell Marvel was like, no, this is blowing up. And then they get into the movies. It's cool that it's just cool that, like, Chris Claremont advised them on the movies. So you get to see him reflecting on the movies. Like, yeah. He also created New Mutants. They didn't talk about New Mutants. I'm sure he hated it. But yeah, like, they talk about, like, what he wanted New Mutants to be.
Wasn't Jim Lee there by the time they did New Mutants?
Yeah, Jim Lee was there, but he wasn't. Like, that was still Jim.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know if Jim Lee was there by then. That might be late 80s. Jim Lee got there in 91.
Okay. Interesting.
That's when X-Men became yellow and blue.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting, dude.
Nice. And move you guys on to your last topic. We're almost at 3 hours.
Yeah, I know. I knew this was gonna be a long haul. Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, 2 weeks of we all watched a bunch of stuff that,
and we did the Oscars,
they're
which
fun.
I wanted
and
to do.
these were, again, it was an easy episode. I think it flowed well. It's just, we talked about a bunch of stuff.
All right,
Shazam.
I'll say this off tops. I effing love the original Shazam movie. I thought it was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Zach Levi fan because I love Chuck, the TV series, and the first Shazam movie I thought was a great good time. It was a feel-goodery. It has Goonie vibes. It's just a fun movie to watch. It's a superhero film, unlike the Marvel movies where you're just kind of having fun, and it felt like a one piece. And it poked fun of itself and all that kind of stuff. This movie is not the same. And not in a negative way. It's just this movie is a lot bigger of a film. It's got more special effects. It's got more characters. It's just all over the place and stuff. It feels a little bit more like the other DC films we've been getting. Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, the Snyderverse, you know. A lot of digital effects, a lot just more shit going on. And it's cool and everything. I will say the one thing I enjoyed about this film is that it does feel self-contained by the end of the movie. If in fact we don't see Zach Levi put the suit back on, and this is the end of Shazam, I'm okay with it, you know. And I was a little worried about that because knowing that James Gunn has come into the scene and he's taken over and he's going to reboot everything, it is like, oh man, like I kind of wanted more Shazam, and we got Shazam 2 coming out. I hope they don't end it with like the build up for Shazam 3 and then we'll never get it, because that would really bum me out. And this, by the end of it, this is mainly pitching it to you, Jerry. They don't do that. It could be just the end of Shazam and you're all right with it. I do think the Wonder Woman throw-in at the end, which is in the trailer, so I'm not even spoiling anything, stupid. Fucking stupid. Didn't need it. Yeah.
Money.
Just didn't need it. Cool. Although, I mean, yes, Shazam, the whole entire movie is talking about how he kind of wants to bang Wonder Woman, and that's kind of funny, and it's like, all right. And then so at the end, they show her and stuff, and there's this whole little scene. Won't get too far into it. It works, but at the same time, it was like, we didn't need it. We didn't effing need that.
And I also feel like it was a wasted opportunity where it's like, even what she's called in to do, we didn't need her for that. Use her somewhere else if that's what we're going to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems so forced. It seems so just like, I don't know. I thought that part was.
And it's also like, I feel it's also like, oh, they clearly filmed that way long ago, because it's like, dude, the second Wonder Woman sucked. Like, why would you even do that? And then all of this now of like, doesn't even matter. We're done with all that
She's
stuff.
done.
That it's like, oh, yeah, exactly. That it's like, why did you add that when she herself and the director are like, yeah, Wonder Woman 3 is not happening. Like, why would they even do that?
It just seems that it's
That's
like
them saving themselves too, though.
Yeah, it just seems like with it, like, because we, like you said, we don't know if there's another Shazam coming. That at this point, what does it fucking matter? If you're gonna have a cameo, have Batman and Superman show up, because we're not getting any more of this.
Neither.
Like, why? But just they should have just, or like throw in something new like Martian Man, like something that is gonna shock us, because it's like, yeah, they're not coming back, so let's just get weird with it.
Green Lantern.
To have a woman come up and give her a little cute smile and be like, yeah, get out of here, Shazam. Get out of the dirt.
Yeah.
It's like, this is, you know, like, yeah.
Stupid.
And again, don't get me wrong. I love Gal Gadot. I love seeing her, but I'm just like, what a waste. She comes on and she comes on and she smiles, and then she leaves.
The old man that plays the wizard. Morbius?
Yeah.
No.
I actually, did they ever say his name? I don't know.
Yeah, they say his name.
It
just says wizard.
Jimon.
This is wizard. Interesting. He's fantastic in the movie. He was great in the last one. He's even more in this one, and he's fantastic in the movie. Yeah. I think they used him in a perfect amount in this one. All around, I really enjoyed it. You know, I do think it's interesting. We talked a lot about this last night, that the kid that plays Freddy is in the movie more than the kid that plays Billy. Also, Nick D, I was wrong. That was the original Billy Baxton. I said it was the original Flash.
Oh,
That's the original guy that played Billy Baxton. There was a Shazam TV show. I think it was very short-lived, maybe a season.
That's sick.
Yeah, from the 70s or the 80s, and that was a cameo he had made. Yeah, there he is. There he is. He makes a cameo in the movie, which is cool. Yeah, it's cool they gave him a chance to 28 episodes.
That's the same shirt. Go one where you see his profile. First
right
picture,
there, right there. Yeah, that's him. It's literally him. Yeah, that's him in the movie now, but old man. Really cool that they gave him a little cameo too, because I don't think they did that in the first one. And if this in fact is the last Shazam, awesome that they gave him his flowers and let him make one more appearance. Altogether, the movie is a good time. I just think the first one was a stronger film. There's nothing wrong with this one. I think it's getting kind of shitted on by the critics and by Rotten Tomato and stuff, and that's kind of a shame because. Jerry, what's the rating on this? Is it rated R? Nah, it's PG-13 at most.
They swear a lot, but there's PG-13. Not a lot of blood or.
I think if they would have bumped that down to a PG, maybe taken out a little bit more of the violence, they might have done better in the box office.
Yeah, and cut out a couple of the F-bombs and stuff like that. It's really not that violent, and it really is funny. Like, it's a genuinely funny movie that it's like, tone it down a little bit more, make it PG. You might have sold more tickets.
And what's her name from Kill Bill? She does a fantastic job. What's her God?
Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu. She does a great job as the bad guy. Same with Helen Mirren. She's great too as the bad guy. I really enjoyed it. I don't know how Nick felt. Like I said, I'm hook line for Zach Levi playing Shazam. I enjoy that. I like him. He's like a Paul Rudd fun character. It's the same way I feel about Ant-Man. He's just fun. It's not too serious. He's kind of poking fun, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that version of superheroes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say about it. I mean, I would give it a B minus. I thought the first Shazam was maybe an A. I'm being a little biased. I just enjoy these films, so I'm probably not the best to ask about it. But yeah, that's what I'd give it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd give it like, I'd probably realistically give it like C+, but I know that's just because I haven't seen the first one. Like, I'm gonna go back and watch the first one, and I'm sure it'll be a B, because it's like the only things I didn't like about the movie were like meta things. You know what I mean? Like things where I'm like, I don't like that they pissed away this cameo. I don't like that, like, not even that I don't like, because I actually do think the kid who plays his friend is a great actor, and he actually is the star of the movie.
Freddie?
But Freddie, like, I want to see Shazam more, one, because it's like, oh, I want to see Shazam. You know what I mean? Like, this is a team movie, whereas Shazam seems like a Shazam movie.
It is.
That, like, I think I'll like Shazam more. But having said that, I think you should go see it.
Go back and watch Shazam, Nick. I'm telling you. Jerry, if you haven't seen it, watch it.
I saw the first one. First one is fantastic.
There's like a Twitter war between Ant-Man 3 fans and Shazam fans. Like, that just seems so stupid. Like, it just seems so weird that it's like Ant-Man fans are talking shit about this movie and Shazam fans are talking shit about that movie. And I'm like, these are both two funny superhero movies. Like, what are you guys? Yeah, social media is stupid.
Yeah, social media. Yeah. And the other thing that's stupid, dude, is that people want superhero movies to be a lot more serious and like traditional move. I don't know. Like everyone wants superhero movies to be this bigger thing that I don't think they necessarily need to be all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Some movies can be aimed at different people. And that's yeah.
Exactly. And I think this is just a good time for a younger person, personally. Yeah. I even think that we're a little old to be even watching this film necessarily, but I still really enjoyed it.
This movie definitely gave me Miss Marvel vibes, where it's like, oh, you can tell this is aimed at like 15-year-olds, and it's like, that's good. That's a good thing. Like, we don't need crazy Zack Snyder, violent Watchmen, nudity movies for children. Like, it's like sometimes like we need like that like middle ground superhero movie. And if Shazam never comes back, I really do hope Gunn brings back Zach Levi for. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he's new. Anything.
Peacemaker.
Maybe he's the new Commissioner Gordon or something, or you know what I mean? Like, I love like this universe that I'm just like, if he's not Shazam, bring him back into the, because he was a star. He was great.
I mean, spoiler, Jerry. It seems, and I won't get too into deets, that if he's coming back into anything, it's going to be in the James Gunn television series where he'd still play Shazam, but he'd be with Peacemaker.
The, like, Justice thing. Yeah, I read the end. I don't
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
sick.
It'd make more sense if he was in that and stuff. And if that's the case, that's awesome. I really hope that is. I hope Zach Levi gets to put that suit on again. Nick pitched me a funny idea where it's like, or maybe it was BK pitched, where it's like Peacemaker's killing people hell of aggressive, and then Shazam's like, "Whoa, dude, what's going on here, man? Like, take it down a notch." And I think
that was I love that.
Yeah, I think that would hella work really good if you have John Cena as Peacemaker just killing people crazy style, and Zach Levi being like, "Dude, you're going a little out of control right now." And also, Peacemaker never needs to know about Billy Batson. He could just meet Shazam.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they could play this whole, like, he doesn't realize that Shazam's a child. And that could be really, really funny. That could be funny, man.
Comedic gold. We have two hilarious people in, like, a buddy cop movie. Like, I would love that.
Show. I think it's going to be more of a show.
Or a show.
Yeah,
I would love that.
But we'll see. You know, I think that, once again, Jerry, if it's streaming, it's 100% worth checking out. I don't blame you.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I don't blame you if you don't go to the theater.
Liked the first one. The first one was so funny.
And I see they're playing Black Adam right here. If we're comparing this to Black Adam, oh my God, is this a better film? Because Black Adam was trash, dude. So bad. It's not even, man. That's a bad superhero film.
Wasted movie.
That's a bad superhero film, bro. That's a bad one.
Again, it's like, dude, we heard about Shazam, what, like 5 or 6 years ago, and just the mention, like, the idea of Shazam means Black Adam is coming. We get the Black Adam movie, and it shits the bed so bad that we're never going to see Shazam fight Black Adam. Like, that is just crazy that I've been thinking about Shazam versus Black Adam for like 5 years now. Never gonna happen.
And good, because The Rock doesn't deserve to do it again.
Exactly. It is just kind of like, man, like,
he talked a big game and he gave us that movie.
And then he lied about it afterwards. He was like, "Oh, it's doing good." Dude, I don't know, man. That whole thing changed my opinion on him. It's crazy. I hate to say that, but it changed my opinion on him. It really bummed me out.
It just sucks that it's all ego driven. That does suck that it is just kind of like, man, it's not even like it sucked because, like, Warner Brothers sucked. It's like, this one just got away from you, Rock. Yeah. I love you, Rock, but it got away from you.
And admit to a failure, bro. Just, like, say, yeah, it sucked. Like, I'm gonna try better. Like, I don't know, like.
Yeah. Anything of like, hey, man, it's a big multi-million-dollar company. I only have so much say. Like, literally anything of just like, I tried, it didn't turn out. But yeah, again, the whole just like, no, it's the best thing ever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dog, we have eyes, we're watching it. It's not.
Yeah, it's trash. It's hot trash. Get out of here. And like the one thing I'll say too, in this movie, Jerry, like, it does have a full crew, which is kind of like Black Adam or even like the Eternals. It works better in this than it did in either of those. Like, this film is better than the Eternals. It's definitely better than Black Adam. Like, I'd put this up in the DC universe. I thought it was better than Aquaman. Wonder Woman 1 was pretty decent, but I still like Zach Levi so much that I'd put this above Wonder Woman 1 even. I put it up right up there, like, Justice League. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say something super out of pocket because I do enjoy Justice League, but I like Zach Levi and his little like thing that he does better than I like any of those other even actors.
Again, like, I don't think you're speaking out of pocket because Zach Levi is really the only one that was like allowed to like do his thing. Like, Batman and Superman are both kind of like locked in. Wonder Woman's kind of like locked in. Like, Zach Levi's the only one who's like, I'm allowed to just be my character and just kind of like, I'm like, he was like noted to death. Like, Shazam's not allowed to say that. Can't say it. He was just like, oh, I'm just going to riff it and I'm going to be funny and charming. Yeah, Zach Levi was able to actually play his character the best out of the whole DC thing. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. That and Peacemaker too, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they were allowed to just kind of, and maybe that's because they're comedies. Maybe because they're comedies, they get a little bit more leeway. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, we are almost on the 3-hour mark, so let's wrap it up, boys. excellent episode. I mean, that right, Jerry? We're done, Jerry. Am I
Yeah, no,
speaking
there's
too
no
soon?
other. Yeah, no. There's nothing else that we had in the chat. So
I will say
bunch of
that
stuff.
the 3-hour episode is awesome because we're not. Unfortunately, I won't be around next week. I'll be on vacation, so we won't be doing an episode next week. So we're gonna take another week off. We took a week off last week. We do a 3-hour this week, but we'll be back the following week.
And really quick, just to point out, I don't know if Tubes covered this in the beginning. We didn't take last week off.
No, yeah, we talked. Yeah.
Okay.
We went into super deets. We even mentioned how we missed Tuesday because I didn't have internet. The weather's been crazy here in California. We're on that East Coast weather. Somehow Jerry's the one that moves away, and yet he had internet and power. I don't know. Didn't work out for us here in Cali.
It was actually quite nice those days. But yeah, I think in between that time, we'll probably check out that Bert stand-up and the X-Men thing. And
yeah, I'll watch Triangle of Sadness and what was the other thing? There was something else you guys told me to watch. Maybe it was Triangle of Sadness. Maybe
I was gonna say definitely watch Triangle of Sadness. But yeah, I think other than that, you'd seen everything. Oh, the first Shazam.
Oh yeah, Shazam 1. You should watch that for sure. Yeah, Triangle. Oh, you know what, dude?
Agent, whatever. I need to watch that.
I didn't get into one thing. We'll talk about it next time we come on. I'll still be fresh on my mind. I have a lot to say about Chainsaw Man. It's too late in the show to get into it because I have a lot I want to say about it to both of you. I'll
watch it in English. I'll rewatch it.
Sure. Yeah. I'll save it. You guys aren't. I don't know how everyone's gonna feel about what I have to say about it. So we'll save it. We'll save it.
It's fine. Yeah.
We'll bring it in. We'll bring it in next show. So get yourself prepared for my Chainsaw Man discussion, dude. Bro, that is the weirdest show you guys have ever made me watch or recommended me to watch. That is a weird effing show. We'll save it though.
If you want a weird movie, I got some.
Yeah,
Check out Dogtooth.
Dogtooth. Okay, Jerry.
Don't watch Dogtooth. It.
What about Antichrist? I think about Antichrist like once a week.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad movie. I don't know. I have a list of just weird movies. Those are both on there.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back. We'll take a week off, and then we'll be back with another, hopefully not 3-hour show. Well, maybe 3-hour show. We'll see.
Maybe we'll have a guest. Who knows? Oh, I got those Mountain Dews. Got some Mountain Dews that I can try.
I got that Canada Dry. Fuck.
Ooh, maybe it'll be another drink episode.
And I do have that Peeps drink, too. I have that Peeps drink.
Next week,
and then you have your trip. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have a bunch to talk about next time. So a week off, it'll be good.
I do want to do an episode where we do taste trials and stuff, too. Like in person, me and Nick D, and I want to pour stuff out and then have Nick D drink them without knowing what he's drinking, and then have him guess what he's drinking. Doesn't matter. We'll get into all that. Let's wrap it up. Thanks everyone that didn't watch yet and maybe is watching now. I don't know.
What's up, guys?
Yeah,
you're watching now. I see. Like watching in the future. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, that's what I meant. Is people. We're gonna stop recording, but maybe they watch it after the fact that we've. Doesn't matter.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
Thanks for getting to the end, guys.
Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next time that we're live. We'd appreciate it here at Over the Show. Yada yada yada. Leave a comment telling us how much we suck. Thank you very much.